Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. We are coming to you live tonight. This is a full episode, even though this is a post-game live after the Celtics and the Sixers game 2, but we are going to do a full show for you tonight. I am your host, Big Mike. I got the team with me. We are all set, full roster tonight. You know, I got to start with my man, the man producer. Podcast Poppy is in the building.
Estamos aquí.
I got my man, Anthony, the Snow Bunny Killer, is in the building.
How's it going, guys?
Although, I guess, does that mean you're the Snow Bunny King now? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
He acknowledged it.
Exactly.
Usually he's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's just...
Lord.
And hey, Courtney, happy fake birthday. That's it. That's an inside joke for OTTR. But and of course I gotta bring in my man Breezy is in the building.
It's the garden.
It's the garden. How we doing, fellas? How we doing this evening?
It's
Good.
the garden, man.
Amazing.
A good night. We got a
good.
shitty basketball game, but it was a good night.
We got a terrible basketball game, but it has been a great let's say Wednesday, 48 hours. It's been a great week since the last time we were on air. I'll put it that way. It's the last time we were on air. Things have been looking great for me. It's just we'll get to that later. But let's do what we're here to do. Let's talk about this terrible game that just went off. The Celtics won by about 80 points tonight. Joel Embiid did receive the MVP, and shockingly, he did return tonight, which I was not expecting, but he did, and didn't matter because the Celtics win 121-87 behind an unbelievable third quarter where it just felt like they hit a barrage of threes.
Every 3-pointer known to man.
Tonight was just Embiid just showing
Being
face
there.
and testing the knee out, not doing too much, seeing how far he has come with his recovery. They already did their job by taking one. They ain't even go hard. If they would have, if the game was close, I could see it going full tilt as far as like effort, but it wasn't.
Fourth quarter, nobody played. Like the Sixers sat everybody, and they're like, "We're just get out of here."
Yeah, the game was over going to the fourth quarter.
Start the
Completely
car.
over. Start
Start the car.
Warm the bus up.
warm the bus up because this one is over. I think the Celtics won 35-16, if I'm not mistaken, in the third quarter.
Nasty. It just seemed like Malcolm Brogdon just didn't miss.
It did. And it's weird because the Sixers made a little mini run because it was hovering around 15 all night. And then they cut it to 12 because I was telling Dylan as we were having our pre-show meeting, I was like, oh, look at the Sixers trying to do something. It's 60-72. Promptly turned into 63 to, I think, 96 by the end of the third quarter. Just
If the Sixers are going to have to rely on James Harden to score 40 points tonight, this series is going to be over quick.
we can go home.
You can just go home because we get 41 out of him game one, and then we get like 2 for fucking $1 billion.
Yeah,
45.
45. I'm sorry.
12 points tonight.
and a masterclass of a game in game one, by the way. Absolute James Harden masterclass. But game 2 was like the masterclass of the opposite side of the quarter for James Harden, where it's like, yo, he's either one side or the other, man. Especially in the playoffs. It's crazy.
Game 1 looked like regular season James Harden. Game 2 looked like playoff James Harden.
I was like, yo, if we got a full series of this James Harden, then
Boston's in trouble.
A
lot of trouble.
I just think Philly was just so comfortable with just getting that split. I just think
most teams are. Most
No,
teams
but
are.
Philly were on their damn jerseys tonight, man. They came out there and just like, let's just get Joel Embiid some movement out there, and that's it. Like, they just weren't even trying.
I don't even know why Embiid's playing. If everyone keeps telling me that he has like a small tear in his knee, why is he playing?
Why? If you're gonna go out there and play like that, why? What was the point?
At some point, like the player's health and safety has to be a thing. Like no matter how bad he wants to play, like that can fuck up his whole career.
Oh, man, he's
And
fucking
that's
injured.
your MVP.
When he's injured around this time every fucking year, he's gonna have to eventually play through that shit. At least learn how to.
Between a torn knee, no thanks.
Mm-mm.
It's just gonna be something different next year. Like, come on, man. It's the same beat every year, man. Why are we acting like we surprised, man?
I'm not surprised. It sucks. It's unfortunate that he does this thing where he's like great, and then he goes in the regular season and just breaks down. I mean, the postseason and just breaks down. It sucks. Like you don't want that, but like, and I'm sure he doesn't want that. But
I'm sure he does it because he's got something to prove. But I mean, just like Chris Paul. I mean, Chris Paul doesn't plan for this to happen to
every
him.
year Chris Paul gets
year.
hurt. There's always a part of his playoff runs where he gets fucking injured every fucking year.
And it's the same thing. It's a hamstring or a groin. Hamstring or a groin. Every year. It's the hamstring or the groin.
Sounds like
but I mean, this was when he was a young man too, though, Dylan. Like,
that's very true. That entire Clippers run that he had, it was either him or Blake hurt.
Is it they
or both?
Him, Blake, or both.
Groin, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Clippers, let's not forget about the current Clippers squad. It's just as bad.
That curse continues with that franchise.
Just as bad. Like, I was watching PG's podcast, and he was just talking about it. Like, he was really trying his hardest to get back on the court.
I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
But and he's still calling Kawhi Leonard a fraud, even though he tore his meniscus.
He's not a fraud. He's just injury prone.
I mean, compound injuries. You have these knee issues. You have these torn ACLs. The more injuries you have in your legs, you're going to keep getting injuries on your legs. It's just how it happens.
I just feel so bad for Kawhi. Like, it's just one of those really unfortunate stories now where it's like when he's on the court, he's arguably top 5.
There's arguably nobody better.
Yeah, arguably. Yeah. The problem is he has glass knees, man. He's got that glass knee syndrome. And
Mike, what's with that face?
I mean, I could argue.
Wait, what? Argue what?
Arguably. I could also argue.
Wait, argue what?
Argument. That's why it's called arguable.
When Kawhi is on the floor, he's the best player in the world.
Arguably.
You can make the same argument for Anthony Davis.
Yep. But I would take Kawhi Leonard over.
If Anthony Davis wants to play like he played last night against Golden State, then yeah,
absolutely.
And we can get right into that. If he plays like that, because they're not
pack him up. If he plays like that every game, pack him up.
But yeah, like that was
because I got a chance to watch over the tape today, and I was like, 24 rebounds.
Yeah.
23
rebounds. Granted, Kevon Looney also had 20 something rebounds.
Yeah. They had
cooking him.
They had the exact same rebound numbers and exact same assist numbers. The difference is AD scored 30 something points.
This is
Looney's not doing that.
Fourth straight game with 20 rebounds, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Because he had one. He had one. I think he had 2 in the Memphis series. So yeah.
The only problem I could see with the Lakers is, can you expect D'Lo to get you 19 a night, or is this the D'Lo game of the series?
We'll see, Dylan. But
maybe 15 a night.
He's hot and cold,
maybe,
but he's getting his 15. The reason I wish we didn't have the Ross counter continuing, but the thing what D'Lo's doing right now that I have no problem with is when he goes on his little burners, they're always at a clutch moment when the team needs it. If he's gonna pick and choose and the team is stagnant and then boom, I'm gonna give you a quick 10, 12 points, and then that's all you're gonna get from me, I'm fine with that because it always seems like that's just the little push that they need.
But sometimes he does that. Other times he's giving you 4.
I mean, but those games that he's giving them 4, they haven't needed. I mean,
you could always need it.
You can always need it, but he's not costing them the games.
No, I'm never said he's costing. Roz is over here like I don't think D'Lo's going to be on this team next year anyway. But like Roz, every time D'Lo makes a mistake, it's like can't pay him, can't pay D'Lo, can't pay D'Lo.
So far during these playoffs, Roz wants D'Lo off the team, wants Vanderbilt off the team.
Vanderbilt and LeBron James aren't built for the first 14 minutes of a basketball game. He says.
He has a
odd thing to say.
He has a hot love-hate relationship with Schroeder. I mean, Roz, he hates Anthony Davis. It's Roz and these like playoff.
Roz has been trying to blow up this team for 2 years.
3 years,
and here he is, like in a really good situation where they can make it to the Western Conference Finals,
and he's still not satisfied.
And he's still not going to be satisfied. And if they ever want a title, he'll be like, "Thanks, Kang. Goodbye."
He'll be happy, like he was in the bubble. He'll be happy for how long was he happy, James? For about 2 weeks, a week. It wasn't long before he was right back on.
Yeah.
It was
like
long.
they got to the parade. He basked in the parade, and then he was on to the next season of the Lakers.
Now it's the time to get rid of LeBron. Because
Another thing that sucks is like, I know we're not talking about baseball right now, but even if the Yankees went back to first place, all it takes is a series loss to the Orioles or some shit for him to just get back.
Yankees won the last 2 games. The Rosman real quiet.
Crickets. It's almost like somebody in here called him out for that, and he got upset because he always does that. Sitting here talking about fire Brian Cashman when there's 120 games left in the season,
yeah, the Yankees are losing, but like
the Yankees are in last place. They're in last place. Everybody's hurt on offense, and they're literally 2 games out of second. Like, relax. They're 1 weekend away from being back in second place. Like, it's okay.
I mean, I feel him on the injury shit because that you talk about controlling the controllables, right? And it's like, my God, fellas.
But
stretch.
You can't.
Well, you gotta have a
stretch. James hates the Yankees conditioning team. He has for
but
years.
No, that's a legitimate gripe.
But you can't control injuries. You can't expect, like, Brian Cashman's not gonna sign all these guys and then be like, oh, I expect them to get hurt. Like, you can't manage a team that way.
I mean, at this point, maybe because
at this point, you know that Stanton's going to play about 120, 30 games. That's fine. But, like, we didn't know Rodon was going to get hurt. You didn't know Judge was going to get hurt. You didn't know that was going to get hurt.
Shit, I don't think I've seen Rodon
Donaldson.
Rodon hasn't played yet.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
exactly. Donaldson, like, you didn't.
Severino is literally like doesn't exist.
Dylan always says Severino's a dead guy.
He's a dead guy. We're paying a guy to not play baseball. He just doesn't play baseball. He plays like 20 games a year. If that.
But when he plays them 20, look out.
Fuck that, man.
What? Did you really just say that?
What is that?
Who cares about that?
He'll be up for 20 games. He'll pitch 5 and then he'll be hurt again.
Deadly season.
But those 20 games though.
Anthony, he almost made me snatch the glasses off. I ain't doing it.
I thought I was the only one who caught that.
I went to the arm on it. I almost, bruh. This goes back to this is a callback to another conversation about when something happens. Like, it can happen, but it all depends. It all matters of when it happens. That's when we're talking about when free throws are made. Remember, Dylan? But this is all about injuries. When are the injuries made? He's always like out of the entire season.
He doesn't play during the summer. He only plays in the spring and September. It's the only time he plays.
Yeah.
When it's hot, he doesn't pitch. But to your argument though, if everybody wants to get injured now and we get all of this out the way now, then I don't care.
But like, my problem is, who the fuck is sending our $40 billion captain to steal second base in game fucking 30?
That part. That's the part.
Why is that a thing?
Roz refuses to talk about for some reason. But yes, I don't know why Aaron. I get it. He stole like 15, 20 bags last year. Whoop-de-doo.
You just paid him however many Bugattis. Like you.
Bugattis.
Now, why are you sending him to steal? Why are you sending him to steal? Why are we doing that?
And it's not like he's a little guy.
He's 6'8", like 250. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here?
That's the problem. He's too big to be doing that. Like, if it's in the playoffs,
but like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's the playoffs. We need a run. We need a rally. Go get it. Go get it, big fella. But
that's why you have Oswald. That's why you have Volpe. That's why you have the young guys on here. You have them do that.
A Tuesday game in April? Nah. We're gonna just try and play Russian roulette with the bit. Just go. Like
pinch run. Like, do something. Like, what are we doing here? But we'll also let's game manage Stanton and just let Judge play every fucking day. All right, let's protect our investment here. We got a 10-year like timetable on Judge, which really in all actuality is probably like 6 years.
Yeah.
So like, why are we gonna fuck him up? Why are you gonna fuck him up? You use the kid that's like 10 years away from arbitration. Send Volpe around the fucking bases. What are we doing here? Also, Mike, Volpe.
I was about to say, Dylan, you're raising your eyebrows, but I feel like I'm being very patient with him because
he's been everything you could ask for, to be honest.
He has not.
Yes, he has.
He has been good. He's actually not even good. He's been very good defensively.
That's all we asked for of him. And he's hitting what, 257?
Then why is he hitting leadoff?
I mean, look at the other people who are batting on our team, and you tell me that.
That's what's like, for the way that y'all were praising this kid. He's
already better than IKF.
He's not hitting, but to your standards, that's not much.
No, but Volpe has been for 21-year-old kid who played. Do you know how many? He played 20 games in AAA.
So why did we call him up?
Because he is good. You see how good he is. Do I have to bring you the defensive numbers again that explain to the world that he's a top 5 shortstop in baseball defensively?
Again, but he can't hit.
He's batting 257. In today's MLB, if you bat 300, you are elite at hitting.
I need him to bat 280.
Here's also something you don't know about Volpe. Volpe always starts off slow, and when he gets into the string of things, he heats up.
Okay, I'm waiting.
I don't think he's gonna be batting 300 again.
I don't
think he's a sensational.
If he's gonna hit 300, I'm gonna lose my mind. He doesn't have to hit 300. That's fine.
No, but
I don't even think
I'm not telling you he's fucking Javi Baez or fucking
the way y'all were
Francisco Lindor. I'm telling you, he's fucking good.
To him.
The kid is
I know
good.
He's good. I know he's good.
He's the best shortstop that we had in the prospect. There's a reason he is the top 3 prospect in baseball, and you could see it. That's like, it's right there. And he again only played 22 games in AAA. He will figure it out. But right now, he is significantly better than anything that we've had playing the shortstop position since Jeter retired. He's a better defender than Didi.
That's a stretch.
Absolutely.
He is
better than Didi.
No, he is not.
Didi a fielder? He is a better fielder than Didi. Absolutely.
Was a borderline Gold Glove at shortstop.
Again, let me present to you the numbers that tell you that Anthony Volpe defensively is a top 5 shortstop in baseball.
He is not. Is he going to win the Golden Glove then?
It wouldn't surprise me if he did. It wouldn't. But again, I'm not putting that expectation on him.
I'm not either.
I'm putting the expectation on him like, hey, this guy's going to be the starter at shortstop for a while. And he's very good.
That's fine.
I don't need him to be Derek Jeter. I'm just telling you, He's
And
better
they
than
need it today.
Cabrera.
I don't think he's better than Cabrera. That's
There's a reason why
my
he's
argument.
there and
That's my
Cabrera's
argument.
not.
He's not better than. He's not ready yet. That was my whole argument. He's
Neither
not
was Cabrera.
ready yet.
Cabrera
But
is going. I think like Glaber needs to go. So I think Cabrera is going to be our starting second baseman.
So who is replacing Glaber? Why does Glaber need to go? Who are we going to get better than him?
I mean, you look to what you have. You don't look to spend the money to keep Glaber when you already have a high payroll, right? That's what the Yankees are trying to do, right? They're trying to go back to being like, hey, let's build from within. Let's stop spending billions on these players. And instead of having to pay Glaber, because that's coming up, you get rid of Glaber. And then you trust your guys and your development team.
So you think Ozzie can be better than Glaber?
Yeah, I do. Because remember, Glaber was really good when he started and then like has these flashes every once in a while. But fielding wise, he's lazy as shit. And he also makes a bunch of mistakes and he can't move as quick as Cabrera can. And that's a fact.
But he out-hits all of them in his sleep.
Again, these guys are 22 years old.
Glaber's 24, 25.
If that, 22 years old.
Like,
and Glaber also has been playing professional baseball since he was like fucking 16 years old.
Even more of a reason to me. Even more of a reason.
Yeah, so go ahead and pay Glaber.
I would pay him.
Not when you have a Stanton contract, a Garrett Cole contract, an Aaron Judge contract, paying Aaron Donaldson fucking $35.5 million, paying Anthony Rizzo, whatever the fuck you're paying him, paying IKF because IKF's also on the roster too.
IKF is not making any money, Dylan.
IKF makes like $12.5 million.
IKF is not making any money that they can't get rid of.
Then get rid of him instead of trying to make him a center fielder.
You tell me what the problem is. They think he can play.
And they're stupid.
I can't tell you why he's still there. They think he can play. That's the only argument I give. They think he can play.
Fantastic. They're wrong.
That has nothing to do with me.
They are wrong. They also think Aaron Hicks can play. They are wrong.
Aaron Hicks is better than Yankee fans think he is.
Oh, yeah. Batting 140 is so sick.
He also will be a New York casualty because he's going to latch on to Anthony's team and fucking turn into Manny Ramirez.
And then they'll still win fucking 50 games. So really good for him. Some guys can't play there. It's two things. Yeah, the fans can be bullshit, but then you also have to be mentally tough to deal with it.
But then there's no accountability, which was my
whole
argument to begin with.
What's the accountability you're looking for, Mike?
For the fans. There's no accountability.
What's going to happen to the fans? The fans aren't allowed to come and watch the team play?
Nothing. But you can't have
when you're bad, you boo. Like that's what happens.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
You're bad, you're boo. You got to deal with it. You're a professional.
You've known me for years, Dylan. You know that I have a problem with fickle. I don't like fickle. It drives
Don't
me
hit
crazy.
140.
It drives me crazy.
You know how you fix the boos? Don't hit 140. I just saw the comment pop up. Don't hit.
Yeah, I don't care about Boston. They won. That series goes back to Philly. I think this weekend they play.
They play Wednesday. No, they play Friday. I think they play Friday.
They get right back to it
because Saturday's only you guys.
No.
Golden State
and LA.
Oh yeah, you guys share with them.
We're locked in with them. Yeah, they play Friday. I'm looking at it right now. They play Friday.
Yeah, they do play. I was right. Okay.
Friday at 7:30, along with
the Lakers. You guys, what is up with you guys having these long breaks in between games?
Well,
that's crazy to me.
The reason that we're having this break is because the Warriors went 7. That's why.
That's crazy. But even all last series, you guys had
we did catch breaks.
And I finally put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, you have Tuesday. You play Tuesday, but then you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I don't know. I would love for the Knicks to be playing tomorrow. I think it would be good.
I wouldn't.
It'd be good for them to play tomorrow. No, I think it would be good
next
for them
week.
to play
You
tomorrow.
guys are literally playing every other day, though.
Give us all the rest. Give us all the rest we can get. Shit.
Literally every other day, you guys play next week after Saturday.
We need all the rest. Jalen Brunson and Jules need to sit down.
And Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy. Which, yes, did we? But before I just wanted to point out that my Nuggets play on tomorrow, also on Friday. Not James's Nuggets.
I hate this team.
My Nuggets.
I hate that team.
Why you single me out? Because I called them to win it all.
He did.
Yes, and then never spoke on it again.
Is he supposed to? Meanwhile, yes. Mike is trying to get pity votes to get things for fucking a speaky.
It's no pity. It's just Mike gets things right over and over again. Mike gets things right, but nobody wants to
as MVP. And I'm not getting a speaky. Listen, Mike, Embiid is a good shout. Good job. But like 40 wins?
42 wins?
40 wins. When we all said, oh, that's good. That's good. Anthony literally made a bet saying that's bullshit. And I think that's what adds to the mystique of 40 wins as well. That's like me calling my shot. I'm like, yo, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. And then they just make it there. Like, if I call the Jets go to the Super Bowl and they go to the Super Bowl, nobody wins the speaky. Nobody wins the speaky.
I would
I'm not doing that because I'm not an asshole. But like, if that happens and you get it right, like, call your shot.
Your own check.
Yeah, write your own check. This is
Knicks win 42 games. Check. Knicks get higher than 60. Check.
Embiid what was more likely to happen at the beginning of the season?
Embiid wins MVP.
The Knicks getting 40 or the Knicks getting 42 or the Kings getting 40?
But Dylan, me and you both said that was a good pick. We both
because it could happen.
Because we both said, "Oh, that could happen." We just didn't have the courage to do it. None of you thought the Knicks were going to win 42. None of you, not one of you.
Did anybody bet against you?
James, no, because none of y'all did that. That's not my fault.
Anthony bet against James.
Wait, hold on. I definitely had the Knicks winning at least 42 games. Come on, Mike.
You didn't make your prediction. You've said things like this, but you didn't make your prediction. But
I didn't make it a prediction, but I definitely said the Knicks are going to win at least 42 games.
Anthony stepping up to challenge James definitely adds to the mystique of the 40 wins. It's the legacy of 40 wins. It's the legend. It's like Hercules. It's like Hercules.
Since we're on the topic, I just want to point out all of Anthony's picks for this year.
Oh, excellent.
Devin Booker will win MVP. Didn't happen.
Oh, Anthony leaving.
The NBA Finals will be the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Los Angeles Clippers.
All right. So before you continue, eat a dick, Giannis. Eat a dick. Anthony, your hero, your boy, crumbled. The pressure was too much for him.
Hey. He did give a very compassionate, impactful speech after the game.
Yeah, a loser speech.
Oh, come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan.
Listen.
So you're gonna tell me that speech had no merit to
it? It's a cool thing to say. As a coach myself, you tell my kids that, yo, we round of applause. And guess what I'm doing when the car ride home? Jaden, don't fucking listen to them because that's loser talk. That's fucking loser. It's okay to lose? No. The Bucks
but he was
number
talking
one.
About...
They were the best team in basketball. They won one more game than the Nets did. When you put it like that, that sounds like shit, right? They won one more game than the Nets did.
Not a good look.
In Milwaukee's defense, Giannis did not play a good portion of the beginning of the series.
And then guess what? Giannis did not play good.
He did play
that last game.
No, he played good. What are you talking about?
He
had like 30 something.
For the fourth quarter.
He had a bad fourth quarter, but he did
a bad
play
overtime.
That game.
Well, everyone on that team just disappeared in the fourth quarter. Like it wasn't even just Giannis.
If Giannis is the best player in the world, why did he disappear?
It happens, Dylan. I mean,
It-
that's a bad time for it to happen, but it happens.
Crumbled. Missed free throws, was getting bodied by Bam and Cody Zeller, and it was music. Like, and the best part was we were live for it, so we got to see me just like basket and like whatever. Knicks advance, good for y'all, but Giannis is melting down on live TV right now. It's a shame it wasn't on TNT. It was on fucking NBA TV. A damn shame.
Anthony also said that the Cavaliers would be the 1 seed in the East.
It was looking like that for a minute, and then
For what?
that
Like a week?
tapered off. Yeah, like a week. But in my defense about the Clippers, I think the Clippers, had they been healthy, would have made it to NBA Finals.
If the Clippers just had Kawhi Leonard playing, I think.
Yeah, I know. It's just like these people just have the worst injury luck ever. Like they can't even get one of their stars to be healthy.
Yo, fuck Stephen A for saying Kawhi should just retire. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was just super insensitive. Like Stephen A. he's an idiot for that.
This last one, Anthony, you might as well just shut your camera off because there's gonna be there's gonna be no defending this one. Because
Gotcha.
I don't know what you were thinking. But Anthony, in his last bold prediction, said that the Detroit Pistons would be the 8th seed.
Well,
To be
hold
fair
on,
here-
hold
to be
on,
fair
hold on,
here,
Mike. Hold on,
I
Mike.
think they could have been if they didn't just like say, "Hey, Cade, we're tanking. Go get surgery."
Yeah. So that when you're arguably your best player goes down like that
Arguably,
plays a lot.
He is.
He is the best player. But
I think that they would have been in the play-in, and they could have made something happen. We don't know.
They
It's
could've.
alternate universe. I
Yeah.
also think the Pistons are going to be the team that loses out on picks 1 through 3 and is the winner of the Ben Simmons award, where they get to take Ben Simmons in a first-round pick.
For my next NBA predictions for next season, I gotta remind myself to insert barring injury before all my predictions.
Can't do that. Can't do that. That's the Ross thing where you're hedging your bets. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
You can't live on the fence. You got to pick a yard. You gotta pick a yard.
Now,
Well, fuck.
Dylan, to be fair here, Dylan, your picks didn't pan out
No,
too well either.
They didn't. There was a while where I thought my Magic pick was gonna be great. It was like the last week of the season. I was like, "Yo, the Magic are about to make it," and then they just lost all the
Then,
games.
they just- you and James take the Magic and go somewhere. But you had John Morant MVP, which looked good in the first half.
It
of
looked
the
good,
season.
and then he decided he wanted to be fucking Mikey Williams.
Looked good for a while. You also had the Clippers in the finals
I did.
against the Nets.
I will stand by that. Well, the Nets one's hard because Kevin Durant got traded. Definitely didn't put Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving getting traded mid-season on my fucking card.
It's funny you mentioned that because you did say that Julius Randle would be traded by the deadline. And
I
that,
did.
That did not happen.
That did not happen. I didn't factor in Jalen Brunson being a fantastic leader.
You also said LeBron would break the record against the Knicks in the Garden.
I was close.
He was not.
I was. He did it 2 games later.
No, you missed it by like a week.
No.
You
No.
definitely.
But it was like 2. But it was 2 games later. He did against what? The Spurs?
No, he broke the record
No.
against OKC. I believe.
OKC. Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 games later. I was still close. Anything within 10 is close.
And you also said the Lakers would miss the play-in, which that didn't happen.
Well, again, let's provide context. I thought they were keeping Russell Westbrook. I didn't think anybody would want to, because if that team that came to the regular season stayed what it was, they were going to miss the play-in.
And you said Dennis Smith Jr. would be the most improved player.
Woo!
I said Dennis Smith Jr.?
Yes, you did.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
That sucks.
That did not age well.
That's bad. Who won? Who did win most improved player?
I don't know, actually.
Nobody yet, right?
I don't know if they've announced it yet. Yeah.
No, I think they announced it. They
No.
definitely announced.
I don't think.
No, actually.
Oh, no,
I
they
think
did.
Laurie Markkinen, I think, won it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. It was
yeah.
Laurie Markkinen.
Yeah.
But at this point, nobody knew what the fuck was happening.
But yeah, that didn't age well.
I don't think any of us really did well on any of these.
I had Joel Embiid for MVP. I had the Warriors and the Nets. So technically, I can still get because I have the Warriors winning the title. So that
you could be half right.
That could happen. I said the Knicks would beat the Nets this year, which they did twice. I said the Hawks would be top 3 in the East, and that did not happen.
The Hawks,
because Trae Young is. I hate Trae Young. And I had the Pelicans in the Western Conference Finals, but of course Zion can't stay healthy for more than 2 weeks. So that
Shut up.
Did not happen.
James got 40 wins.
James had Kings win 40 games. Pelicans get home court in the first round. Kyle Kuzma for the most improved player.
Almost.
And he had Ja for the MVP also before he turned to Mikey Williams. And James had the Nuggets and the Bucks in the finals.
With James the Nuggets could be half right. James could be half right.
Spent all season talking about the Kings. Playoffs start, and now it's Nuggets.
He abandoned them. Why? He got the second he hit 40, he jumped off the ship.
No, I don't have a problem with him jumping off the Kings because he got his bet. My thing was there was no talk of this Nuggets all season.
I mean, they were top.
And then the playoffs start, and Nuggets. I picked the Nuggets. Where are you coming from?
The playoffs.
Oh my god!
Why are you getting mad? Why does it like? It's not a regular season bet. Like we knew the Nuggets were going to make the playoffs, so why are you going to get all rah about the Nuggets winning 53 games when that's not what this is about?
Where was all this Nuggets talk a week ago when you and this guy was talking about the Nuggets being trash, and I was sitting here defending the Nuggets, telling y'all that they were going to pack Minnesota up, which they did. And then
they didn't sweep though.
Gentleman sweep. Got him out of here. It took Anthony Edwards turning into playoff Jimmy for them to get a game. That's what it took.
It's because Gobert sucks. Anthony went on the Rudy Gobert fucking roller coaster in that series where he's like, "Yo, Dylan, you got to give Rudy Gobert more credit." And then he waited 5 minutes later. He goes, "Never mind, he sucks." And then he was like, "Yo, Dylan, no, like you need to give him more credit." Oh shit, no, he sucks. Anthony lives in the moment, and this was just along the Rudy Gobert.
I was low key trying to give him a chance. Like he had some times where he looked somewhat good. He played somewhat decent defense, but then he did that thing where he just becomes useless for like 75% of the game. I'm just like, oh fuck. Like,
or as defensive player of the year, just gets cooked every trip down.
Let me explain to you why every defensive player of the year that Rudy Gobert gets is a sham. Because advanced analytics also factor in rebounding. So if you rebound well, that gives you extra points on your defensive rating, and that's dumb. That is fucking stupid. Advanced analytics say Rudy Gobert is one of the best defensive centers of all time.
And that is not true.
That is not true. That is not fucking true. That dude gets dog walked every playoff run he's ever been in.
Every time, like clockwork.
Like clockwork. And this man's making how much money?
The only difference is
5 years, $205 million.
And the Timberwolves traded 6 first-round picks for him?
Yep. I think it was like 5. Was it 5 or 6?
Don't matter. Too many. It's 5 too many.
All I know is the only difference this year was it wasn't a guard putting him in hell, in pick and roll hell. It was just Jokic getting the ball and saying, "Yeah, I'm about to serve you, bro." Barbecue
I still
chicken.
don't understand why teams decide they're going to quadruple team him just for him to pass it to the good shooters on this team.
Because if you don't, he's
just take your luck with the guy down low. Just
dropping 40 on your head if you don't. That's why.
If you here's how I like my theory on it. You're not going to stop him. He's going to get whatever the fuck he wants, right? On the offensive side of the ball. You have to make sure the other guys can't get involved.
That's the problem. What do you do?
Don't quadruple team him the second he touches the ball.
But then he just cooks whoever's inside.
Go ahead.
And the rest of the team needs to stop ball watching.
Yeah, like They're just sitting there, just let him work down there. Eventually, he's gonna get tired. Like his conditioning ain't great.
Yeah, and then they'll just dish it out to like 4 other people who can also get buckets.
Was it game 3 in that Minnesota series where Jokic was literally just sitting there, hands on his knees on defense at the fucking restricted circle, just letting Anthony Edwards just drive by. I'm like, yo, if you make him work down there, he will get tired eventually. Like eventually he will. The more you bang bodies down there, like it drains you. It's the brick wall badge in 2K. Like that shit's real. It takes away its stamina. That shit's for real. Stop letting these guys just fucking cook you from the perimeter. Like just let Jokic be the one that scores 60 on you and just hope somebody else doesn't beat you.
Yeah, but we always talk about playoff Jimmy, but I think playoff Murray is underrated. I don't think we talk about him enough. Jamal Murray's
done it enough.
No, but he's had a great postseason
He's had a great postseason this year, and the last time he did it was the bubble, so it's been a while.
Yeah, but he's
playoff Jimmy. We see it every time he's in the playoffs.
He's been hurt though.
He's been hurt, but that's what I'm saying. You can't. The only reason we don't talk about Jamal Murray more is because he just hasn't played.
Yeah, but we're remembering
watching
how
it right
good
now.
he is. Yeah,
we're watching it in real time.
Where it's like Jamal Murray last did it in the bubble. Jimmy Butler has done it every single year he's been in the playoffs, so we see it more frequently. That's why we talk about playoff Jimmy, because he's like
an anomaly.
An absolute anomaly.
He breaks Roz's brain because it's 2 different people.
It's not regular season. He is shooting significantly better. Like he's averaging like 30, almost 40 in the playoffs. He's averaging like 50 something from the field and 50 something from 3, where in the regular season he was shooting 27% from 3 and like 40 from the field. So it's just like, oh, you want to argue regular season versus postseason? How it's not this? How it's the same? It's not. Look at what Jimmy Butler does.
I mean,
it's almost like Jimmy doesn't give a fuck about the regular season; just wants to get to the playoffs. It's just it almost fucked him.
He'd be bored all the time. My question is, so we all, like we said, Chris Paul got hurt again. So the fact remains, the Suns still do have one Hall of Famer, and I mean Devin Booker's a borderline Hall of Famer. We'll see how the rest of his career goes, but
not yet. But they have a Hall of Famer and a great scorer.
The problem is,
for argument's sake, let's say 2 Hall of Famers. Let's just assume 2 Hall of Famers still left on that team.
And nobody else.
Can they? I will not, even though I give Dylan shit about Kevin Durant, I will not disrespect that man. They're not going to sweep. He's not going to get swept 2 years in a row. So the question is, will they get 2 in Phoenix, or can Denver get 1?
I think the key to the rest of the series is Devin Booker's playmaking. Now that Chris Paul's gone, you put the ball in Devin Booker's hand a little bit more on the facilitator side and let him get the other guys involved while Kevin Durant just gets you his buckets. Because Devin Booker in the playoffs, during their finals run as a facilitator, was awesome, especially in that time frame where Paul was out again. So, like, if he could step up in that area again to get guys like Torrey Craig involved, eventually, whenever TJ Warren is going to be able to step foot on the fucking basketball court as a wing who could score would be great. Maybe if DeAndre Ayton could do something.
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing?
No, it's almost like I said, you shouldn't fucking pay him. But no, like as long as you have Kevin Durant, you got a chance. And Denver did exactly what Denver's supposed to do. They won their games. Now it's time for Phoenix to do what they're supposed to do and win their games. It's just like that Sacramento series where Anthony was like, oh, like the beam. They did their job. Now the Warriors have to do their job. So now it's time for Phoenix to get it done. Do I think they can win 1? Yes. Do I think they can win 2? Yes. But will remain to be seen.
Yeah, I'm not confident enough in Denver to say that they will definitely get the split, but I'm pretty confident that Denver's going to win this series.
I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck Monty does with Kevin Durant sometimes. Like I just don't understand it. Like let's just use him like he's just Miles Bridges or Mikal Bridges. That's Kevin fucking Durant. You know who he is. Everybody knows who Kevin Durant is.
Yeah, we know who he is, Kevin Durant. Yes.
Like,
So-
stop using him like he's a role player, where he's got to go out of offense to get his fucking shots.
Well, I mean, maybe that's just because Monty is saying, "Hey, this is Devin Booker's team. He will get the shots."
Yeah,
Go
and
ahead,
you'll
Devin
get-
Booker, score 60 and watch you guys lose because nobody else is scoring.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened in the first
That's
game.
a coach of the year.
So then
right?
trust the process.
No.
Trust the
No.
process, Dylan.
I've seen coaches of the years get fired the same year they win that award.
So have I, and it wasn't right then. He's not
And
getting
guess
fired.
what? George Karl deserved to get fired when he won. Dwayne Casey deserved to get fired when he won.
Dwayne Casey did not deserve to get
Dwayne
fired.
Casey
He did not
packed
deserve
up
to get-
every fucking year he played in the playoffs.
He did not deserve to get fired.
He had 4 fucking first round exits.
You give Dwayne
You
Casey
deserve to get
Kawhi.
fired.
You give Dwayne Casey Kawhi Leonard and see what happens.
yeah. It's not his fault. The Raptors kept
Get out
running
of the
into
first
LeBron.
round. He ran into
LeBron,
Wizards.
LeBron,
LeBron.
the Wizards, the Nets.
LeBron.
No, he lost 2 series to LeBron. He lost to the Wizards and he lost to the Nets. So shut up.
They're
fired.
called LeBronto for a reason, man.
Yeah, the back half of those 4 was LeBronto. But he got packed up by 2 different Paul Pierce teams, none of them being the Celtics.
That Washington one.
I called game.
Yeah, that Washington one's tough. They shouldn't have lost to that Paul Pierce Washington team. But I mean, that's John Wall and Bradley Beal though. So, but regardless,
Fucking well. Get fired,
Yeah,
Dwayne Casey.
regardless.
Mike doesn't like when coaches get fired.
Well, no, some coaches deserve to get fired. Some coaches, some
But
don't.
when's the correct timeline to fire a coach?
The last few have not been right. I don't think Nate McMillan should have been fired in Indiana. I thought that was wrong. And since they've been trash ever since. This year with
Bad teams do
Atlanta,
bad team things.
Yeah, exactly. But that still doesn't mean he should not have been fired.
I'm not going to
This
say all
year was-
coaches deserve to be fired. Sometimes they do.
I was saying the last few have been shaky. This year with Atlanta, he really shouldn't have been fired. But once you lose the star player, then there's
Gotta go.
nothing that you think is nothing.
Trae
you can
Young's
do.
had 3 different head coaches.
But yeah, he's a coach killer. But he's also not welcome indictment. But who else? Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is I don't think Nick Nurse should have been fired, but
Nick Nurse, after he lost Kawhi, has not done dog shit.
he's coached actually very well.
They just don't win games.
They don't have enough talent. Like they were never. You thought they had a chance to beat Philly last year, did you not?
I did.
Did they get?
They didn't
embarrassed in
change
that-
their talent.
Did they get embarrassed in that series, or did they just lose to a better?
No, and then they came back this year with the same talent.
That's not Nick Nurse's problem. That's not his fault.
So you could get. So this is where it is Nick Nurse's problem, and it's Nick Nurse's fault because you went and you fought Philly in a playoff series to do worse this year with the same talent that you have. Scotty Barnes regresses.
The rest of the league got better though. Dylan.
Scotty Barnes regresses. You can't put your rotations together the same way. Nobody could shoot on that team, even though last year the same group of people were able to shoot. Holy shit. So what are we doing? The same team can't produce wins. The
so
same
you
team
think
can't get into the playoffs.
You think it was Nick Nurse's fault that
I'm saying you could. I think it's like not a bad decision to fire him because guess what? Toronto's about to blow it up. Don't put him through a rebuild. Because guess what? Freddie's gone next year. Pascal's gone next year. Why bring?
You think Pascal's gone?
Pascal's gone. Pascal's a free agent.
He's out there.
Pascal's a
You don't think they're going to resign him?
No.
No. Pascal and Freddie are out.
I know
Why bring
Freddie's
Nick Nurse
out.
back?
Freddie's definitely out.
So think of it that way. Not even just like, oh, he's a bad coach. Why bring in a coach who has won championships to a team for a rebuild?
Makes sense.
When you're planning not to give him talent, then yeah.
Well, you're about to get rid of your talent. Oh, your talent, Scotty Barnes? Cool. Figure that out. I like Scotty Barnes, but offensively, Scotty Barnes isn't great, and he still has to learn. And you take away the vets on that team that were part of championship teams to help him accelerate and learn. Got to move on.
What do you think about Budenholzer?
Fire him.
Get fired.
We all know the timeline of Bud. Bud should have been fired.
Could get fired. I think
He's on the hot seat.
he's on. I I hate to say it this way, but I think his brother passing gives him a pass because.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's tough.
That is tough.
That's I don't.
Well, it was a car accident, right?
To be honest with you, I don't even know how he continued coaching. To be honest with you, that's tough.
It sucks. I think he should be fired, right?
He said not
obviously
fired.
the circumstances sucked, but like I think he gets a little bit more of a leeway because Giannis missed 2 games and then the circumstances of his brother. I don't think it's a good sign that they didn't do exit interviews.
I don't think so either.
That's a bad sign.
That's not a good look.
But again, if you put 2 and 2 together from like, yo, they're a foot on the line away from Bud being fired. Like that title really only extended him so little wiggle room. Usually when you win a title, you get a while, right? That extends your life.
Unless you're the Raptors.
Yeah, but the Raptors clearly weren't going anywhere. The Raptors clearly weren't going anywhere. The Bucks are still in a position where they could fucking win, but they won 1 game as the best seed in the NBA.
They got a lot of free agents.
And the new CBA is going to ruin that team's the way it's built.
Yeah.
Like it's going to devastate how Milwaukee's built.
Yeah.
So like that, I'm not saying their window's closed, but there's going to be a tougher time for them to get real like role players.
Yeah,
real good talent to help.
They
them
have
out.
Good role players. They don't have like Chris Middleton's getting old. They need someone to replace him.
But like at the time of the signings here, like Joe Ingles signing that team, that never would have happened. And if this was Joe Ingles not coming off of an ACL injury, that's a unbelievable pickup.
Yeah,
unbelievable pickup.
What did Crowder do?
Nothing.
Crowder not being good at basketball. They traded 4 second-round picks for him.
He was over here talking about he doesn't know
pennies. Second-round picks are pennies in the NBA, so it's like they got them for free.
Yeah, they were getting tossed around like it was nothing. Like second-round picks don't mean shit.
They don't. They don't. You very rarely find a guy in the second round.
Yeah.
Unless his name is Joker.
Very rarely. Again.
Yeah, super rare.
In the last 20 years, what we have? Joker, we have Ginobili, we have Gilbert.
That might be it. I'd have to
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort, not even like a superstar, but like a really good role player. Lou Dort, Nick Claxton. Like solid guys. Like you usually don't get solid guys in the second round. So it's like, yo, fuck these second round picks. We'll just check free agency and pay like the same salaries to guys who've been in the league.
So what do you do with Mike then? Do you give him another year? Or do you
I said fire him.
You still say fire him?
I say fire him and give him Nick Nurse.
I'd give him another year, but
how often are you gonna get Nick Nurse on the table?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nick Nurse, I think Nick Nurse got a hold of that team. Ooh. Because I see Nick Nurse coach talent.
He knows what to do with it.
And he's a solid coach when it comes to adjustments. Bud is not. Bud is really not. So like again, I know we go past some things, but let's go back to the Giannis not guarding Jimmy Butler thing that we did. The fact that Giannis went to his press conference is like, yeah, I want to, but that's not my position. It's the coach. I blame Bud.
That didn't
for those losses. That did not look good.
That did not look good.
But that's what I said. I was like, if Giannis is the one going up there and saying, let's do it, and Bud's like, no, we got Drew, and Giannis is not like, Drew currently has 40 on his head. Like, Jimmy Butler literally was walking around the court against Drew Holiday saying that I own you.
Yeah, he took it. He took his manhood. That's
bad. At that point, when are you not like, yo, Giannis, please, please? We need to do something different. But you know what? That's just the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That man averaged 36 a game against the best perimeter defender in basketball. Fire Bud. I don't feel bad anymore. Fire him.
And the only other one is the Rockets head coach.
I mean, yeah, he should have been fucking fired.
Yeah,
this is like
no.
the second time he's been in a situation where he's just coached the worst fucking team ever.
No, it's his first coaching job.
So he was the first head coach. He was on his dad's coaching staff in Charlotte for the Bobcats. And then Paul Silas got suspended for something, and Steven Silas had to take over coaching for a significant portion of the season, and they were fucking horrendous. So yeah, Steven Silas is not a good coach.
We'll see if the Rockets are better next
We'll see. How about the only person showing up to Ime Udoka's press conference being Kevin Porter Jr.?
It's a smart man.
Nobody else. Like, granted, I don't even think Jalen Green's safe on that team, to be fair here, because that whole team is just guys who don't know how to play basketball. They just go out there and just try to hoop. It's LA Fitness to them. It's just LA Fitness to them. You gotta Ime is gonna change the culture of that place, and there's gonna be a lot of guys who are gonna be like, "Fuck this,
yeah,
this sucks."
He's gonna actually make them play defense. They are not gonna like that.
I think Sengun is safe. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is safe. That's it. And Jabari Smith might be safe, but
you really don't think Jalen Green is safe?
No. Because I think Jalen Green is stupid. I think he doesn't know how to play basketball. He's just incredibly talented.
But I will say this. If they buy in to Ime's system and they play defense with all that
athleticism, 30-win team.
With all that athleticism,
they're a 30-win team.
They could make some noise.
They're a 30-win team. They still need actual
define some noise. What does some noise mean to the Rockets?
35.
I don't think they'll win 40. I think they're in that 30 threshold. If with the talent they have there, they decide to commit to basketball. I still think they need a real player on that team. And I'm not saying they're not they're in the NBA, obviously they're real players, but a real established player.
They're all young.
They need an established
They need a veteran.
They
need some leadership back.
The NBA needs veterans, man.
The NBA needs veterans badly.
They need late
young
90s
players that listen. That's what they need.
They
yeah. Good luck with that.
They just we're just gonna put all the 18-year-olds on one team. Let them run amok. Can we talk about Dylan Brooks?
That's our next topic.
Dylan Bricks.
I think the Grizzlies did him a little dirty like that, man.
So that's my question. Are the Grizzlies scapegoating him? And
1,000,000%.
1,000,000%.
Will he? Because Dylan has been posting in the chat that he's going to China.
It's my favorite meme. My favorite meme.
What is it, the Shanghai Sharks or some shit like that?
Yes.
No, when I posted the picture of Dylan Brooks in a Chinese Twitter account, and Ross was like, "I don't get this," I was cracking up. I was cracking up. And then the picture I posted today of Dylan Brooks, China. That shit's so funny to me. I don't know who picks him up. I'm not going to say he committed career suicide, but because the league is definitely scapegoating him. But it doesn't help his case that he talked shit and didn't show up. That's kind of soft as fuck.
That's the part.
You have to face the music.
You have to face the music.
He bit off more than he could chew. And
then you double down. That's what you have to do in these situations. You double down. You double down, and you're like, you know what? I stand by what I said. They had the better series, but I know they're not the best player. And I'm better than all of them. Those are the things he should have went full heel. He should have went full heel. All the guys who are tough guys like that, or the fake tough guys, the defenders that get into your shit. Pat Beverly don't back away from none of that.
Nope.
Pat Beverly go out there and I got cooked. I still feel like I'm better. Draymond will talk shit in the press conference and go talk shit on his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the NBA is more mad that they didn't have the exposure of Dylan Brooks in those press conferences than anything.
Could be that, but I mean, he's contractually obligated to talk to the media, and he didn't talk to the media 3 times in a row. He's lucky they only fined him $25,000 because what in the playoffs? Yeah, nah.
Listen, it doesn't help that he was like also one of the 3 worst players in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you talking down on LeBron, and then looking utterly stupid in the process.
And
Talking
then
about
getting
you
cooked.
Talking about he needs 40, and then he gets blown out by 40. Like, come on.
Yeah. He asked for 40. He got 40. Twice.
Yeah, I mean,
he got it twice because LeBron gave him 20 and 20. That's 40. And then they lost by 40. So like it's a tough look for Dillon Brooks there, but he's definitely being scapegoated. Do I think he ends up on the team next year? I don't know.
He will.
He will. Some team will pick him up.
I don't know. I don't
know
if
if
they want to pick up
the team. He's going to be on a decent team. So
they're already saying he's garnering some interest.
He wants to be a bigger part of the offense, but when you're shooting as bad as he was shooting, and I don't know, like I don't know what he expects his role to be.
The Grizz offered him in a contract early at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they withdrew.
Yeah, I heard that today that they offered. No, I heard he
turned it down,
and he turned it down.
Yeah, he turned it down.
Now he won't get that offer again.
Yeah, they're pulling that shit off the table.
Yeah, like all right, cool. Yeah, no. But I could see Sacramento going after him.
Defend him in 2 seconds.
You're going to defend him? I can't wait. Sacramento.
I just don't know. I'm not saying he won't. I just don't know what team would pick him up.
Sacramento could use him. Atlanta could use anyone who plays defense. Charlotte likes collecting random pieces.
That's very true.
I mean, there's places for him to go. You know what's weird? I feel like he would kind of fit in Miami. I feel like he could work with them.
I could see that.
Him and Jimmy on the same team is nightmare fuel for a lot of people.
I could see that. That would be a great fit.
Heat
culture might be exactly what he needs.
I could see him in Miami.
Him down a little bit.
But so for me, it's.
Do you think that would calm him down?
I think so. I think so.
Absolutely.
I think Miami could definitely take care of his anger issues.
I hate that people are like, "Yo, watch him be a Laker next year," and then because that's what just the GM's going to pick him up, and Dillon Brooks should be quiet as fuck. I was like, I hate that for him. Don't do that. Don't put him in the box. And Mike, I want to call you out on your bullshit from yesterday.
Are we going to do this argument again?
We're doing it because you're saying like I don't think Dillon Brooks is great because I feel like you're trying to say that like I'm saying Dillon Brooks is better than Draymond as a defender. I don't think that's true, but like they guard the same people. They literally guard the same people. The only difference is
the same.
Dillon Brooks doesn't guard centers.
Then they don't guard the same people.
They both guard. Draymond will guard 1 through 5. Dillon will guard 1 through 4. The only difference is the Warriors don't have a center to guard centers.
But again, I'm telling you.
But how do we know? But why do we know that Draymond can guard centers?
Because we've seen Draymond. So you're telling me
he was asked
you would be comfortable with Dillon Brooks on the Warriors doing exactly what Draymond does?
Yes, I do.
You're crazy.
Again, I don't think he's as good as Draymond in that role. I think if Dillon was put in that role, he would probably be a little bit happier. I think that might be the role he's looking for.
He is not built that way. He is going to guard 1 through 3, and if you need him to guard a 4, he is a slightly bigger Marcus Smart. That is what he is.
He is the same size as Draymond Green, height and weight. He's actually taller than Draymond Green.
He is Marcus Smart.
He's not.
That's what he is.
Marcus Smart's 6'4".
They guard the same people.
Marcus Smart is 6'4".
So let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you a question. Do you not think whatever team that Dillon Brooks signs with, the first game that they play Memphis, he's not picking Ja up?
Why would he pick up anybody else?
Because he guards guards. That's why. He clamps up guards. That's why he's guarding
forwards too. Does he do a good job? That's to be determined. But he guards them.
Marcus Smart guards power forwards. Does he do that all the time? Do they ask him to do that? No, but he's capable.
When it's their best player, they ask him.
Dylan Brooks.
These are the things that we argue about because you just refuse to acknowledge the similarities in their games.
Just because they're the same size doesn't mean they're the same
size
and
same
play
weight. They play the same way on defense because they're asked to guard 1 through 4. Draymond's asked to guard 1 through 5 because the versatility that way. We don't know
if they're the same size. How come Draymond can guard centers, but Dylan Brooks can't?
Because he has Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson. 2 guys who are more than capable of
Draymond can guard
defense.
any center in the league. Dylan Brooks cannot guard any center in the league.
Is Kevon Looney a good defender on centers?
Not really.
Oh, so you're saying it's out of necessity that Draymond guards centers?
Draymond is a Hall of Fame defender.
Out of necessity, does Draymond guard centers?
He's a better defender than Looney.
Oh, okay. The Grizzlies have 2 defenders on the roster who are really good at guarding centers. So what are we doing? If Steven Adams is on the Warriors, Draymond's not guarding the center. If Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. is on the Warriors, guess who's also not guarding centers?
Dylan Brooks is on the Warriors. He's not guarding centers.
They would. I guarantee you, Steve Kerr can do the same thing.
He's not guarding centers.
I guarantee you.
Not. I know he's not. You know he's not. But
I don't know he's not because I'm telling you what I'm saying. Like, am I speaking Chinese?
Dylan Brooks is.
I know Dylan Brooks needs to learn Chinese, but am I speaking?
Dylan Brooks is not guarding centers. He guards 1 through 3.
He's not asked to.
Occasionally 4s.
1 through 4.
1 through 3. Occasionally.
Because most of the power forwards in this league are too slim to handle him. He's too big. Muscle wise, he's too big. He's bigger than Siakam. He's bigger than Durant.
Siakam is a 3.
Siakam is a 4. What are we doing?
He's a 3 that masquerades as a 4 when they play small ball. Siakam is a 3.
Siakam is a starting power forward. And has been a starting power forward in this league since he's been in.
3.
Siakam was a starting power forward on an NBA championship team. Siakam is a starting power forward.
James is a small forward that plays the 4.
The league has changed, Mike.
Okay.
The league has changed.
So it's okay if LeBron does it, but Siakam doesn't now.
LeBron is now a power forward.
Because they play small. He has to play the 4 because AD plays the 5.
This is not 2004 basketball anymore. You don't have a legitimate
small ball. Everyone plays small ball.
And they're power forwards.
That doesn't make him a power forward. It makes him a big small forward.
What's the difference between LeBron James and Amari Stoudemire?
I don't know where you're going.
An inch.
Oh, in height.
Yes. They're the same thing. What was Charles Barkley?
Barkley is
a 6'6" power forward.
Exactly.
What makes somebody a power forward?
The girth and the way that they play in the paint. That's how you get
your LeBron James not a power forward?
The rebounders.
So LeBron James not a power forward.
Shut up, James.
Hey, calm down, fellas.
Like you're sounding crazy. Like Pau Gasol of the leagues don't play anymore. Like the modern power forward is Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
And Dylan guards those guys.
All right. Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks guards smaller guys.
Does he do a good job of it?
Any bigs?
No.
He doesn't guard any bigs. But okay.
Power forwards aren't bigs anymore.
Right.
That's the things. They're wings. They're not bigs anymore.
But that is the point that I'm telling you. He can't guard
so
bigs.
If they're playing power
Draymond
forward,
can
so
guard
he's not
bigs.
Power forward.
That is what I'm telling you. He can't guard bigs.
Draymond's guarding bigs out of necessity because they found out that he's a better defender that center than the other bums they had. If you put a Defensive Player of the Year center on that team, he's not guarding centers.
The only reason Draymond
Why are you ignoring that?
Because I'm trying to explain to you. The only reason Draymond wouldn't guard Embiid, even though he would, is if you have another 7-footer, you try to match the height. You just try to match the height. But in a clutch situation, I guarantee you Draymond is guarding Joel Embiid. He can. Dylan Brooks is not. He's not. He's not even
because he has Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson.
Dylan Brooks is not going to guard. I can't wait for you to show me the footage to point out to me when Dylan Brooks consistently guards a big. I can't wait for it.
Is big?
Are
we doing 2005 NBA big, or are we doing?
I just saw Draymond do. I just saw Draymond do it last night. Because
I have video of Dylan Brooks guarding Draymond Green at the 5.
And Draymond is not. Draymond is playing
center.
Big.
Playing center. Playing big.
We're doing semantics with the word.
That's what I'm saying yesterday. You're opening up a can of literal words.
Make your point, because that's what you're doing. That's what you, because you know what I'm saying. You know that I'm right, but you don't.
I don't know. No, you're not right.
It's all right. I am right. He doesn't play bigs. He does not. He doesn't.
He doesn't play center because he has Jaren Jackson Jr. He has Jaren Jackson Jr.
They don't guard the same people. They don't. In no world would you put Dylan Brooks on the people that Draymond guards. In no
Kevin
world.
Durant?
Like I said, you would not, in any sense, put Dylan Brooks on Domantas Sabonis. You wouldn't.
Would you put Dylan Brooks on Kevin Durant?
No.
Who else are you going to put on him?
I don't know. I wouldn't put him on him. He's too small. He's too little.
You know,
He's not physical enough to do that.
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
Is physical enough? Draymond is physical enough to play.
Dylan Brooks is a physical
Durant.
Defender. Don't make me pull up the same thing I said to Roz. If you're not familiar with his game, just let me know.
Apparently,
if you're not familiar with his game, just let me know.
Apparently, Dylan Brooks just guards 1 through 4 and 5s. But okay.
Again, I never said he was good at it.
No, he's not good at it, but he can do it. Just
he does
like
it.
Draymond can.
He
not good
does
at it. We'll do it.
He does it.
Okay. Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Continue. I'm listening.
Dylan Brooks. So Dylan Brooks deserves the backlash a little bit for talking all the stuff that he was talking. But as far as like where everybody is pulling it for the media, showing him dancing and everything like that, and saying and mentioning the what was the statement?
He pokes the bear.
No. What was the statement that the team let out?
Oh, that the Memphis Grizzlies under no circumstances be returning.
Yeah,
that's crazy to say.
That's a little.
That's a little harsh.
That's a little.
That's
much.
Crazy to say.
That's a little much.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the exit interview was to make them say that. It must have been
wild,
hot in there. It must have been hot, but. I was having this argument with my boy Blad today. Shout out to Blad. And the argument was, oh, you can't talk like that and only get 14-2. If you listen to him talk, you think he's getting more than 14-3-2. His statement was he's just not a good basketball player overall. And I was like, if we want to talk about stats, right? Stats and facts. I turned into Roz today. I was happy for myself, but I was also mad that I had to go this route. Do you guys think Jordan Poole is better than Dylan Brooks?
Yes.
You guys think Mike Conley is better than Dylan Brooks?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
You guys you think Emmanuel Quickley is better than Dylan Brooks?
Yes.
I'm biased, but yes.
That's
stats-wise, all of them are not stats-wise. None of them score more than 14 points. Not Bones Highland. None of them.
But
really?
What are we saying that points per
game? None of them score more than 14 points.
Is points per game the only parameter to say who's good or not? Because that's not accurate either. Mike Conley is way better. He has this word that I keep telling Roz all the time called intangibles that you can't measure. That's what makes them better.
And that's funny because I think Dylan Brooks has the same thing. It doesn't. A lot of things that he does not show up on the stat sheet because he also makes it very difficult, and he takes the defensive assignment every single night. He takes the defensive.
He makes sure that Ja doesn't have to guard the best guard because he guards guards.
Regardless of what the situation
No,
is.
that's actually Desmond Bain.
Yeah.
Bain guards the best ball handler on the team. Dillon Brooks will guard the better wing.
Regardless of the situation, Mike, it's name a good player that's not great at defense that's being hid. Steph Curry being hid, but for Clay to take over the assignment.
Harden,
Jordan
Kyrie.
being hid for Pippen to take the assignment. That happens. So like, what's different?
It's what happens in the course of NBA history.
Yeah. So what's different for you to say that?
Say what? Say what? I don't think Dillon Brooks is a ball. That he guards.
You don't know what you said just 10 seconds ago?
That he guards bigs. That he guards the best wing, the best ball handler.
That he takes on the defensive assignment each
so
night.
So John doesn't have to.
Yeah, what's the point of that statement if that happens over the course of the NBA history?
It's the same reason Draymond does it.
It was
so nobody else has to. Draymond does it because out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
It was me talking to Dillon, but it has nothing to do with Dillon Brooks.
And also,
I am Dillon.
And then also, I just think that when people are like getting on him, I just think that it was more of a spotlight, right? For them to be like, oh, he said, you're going to have to give me 40 and trying to total up things. Oh, and they won by 40. LeBron didn't give him 40. And he said, oh, you need to give me 40. And then LeBron didn't score 40. He scored 20 and got 20 rebounds. And they said, oh, that's 40.
Well, he didn't specify 40 points, James.
It's coincidental.
He just said 40.
No, you have to score 40. But it's just coincidental that he used the number 40 and then all of these 40s started popping up.
But they ran with it. They ran with it to try to make it seem like, oh, you asked for it and shall you receive type of thing, right?
He asked for the
smoke. He wouldn't have had to run with it if he would have just faced the music.
He asked for the smoke and he got it. And he got
it. But did he? But he did he? Because the player that he asked the player that he asked to score 40 did not actually score 40.
So you're saying it's a win.
So you think Dillon Brooks won this thing?
No. I just think that it's a lopsided argument. People are picking and choose what to point out.
He asked for the smoke and he got it.
I think they pick and choose what they're pointing out. But again, I think it goes back to him not having to face the music for him to be like, he still didn't score 40. Like, you guys are adding up 40. He still didn't score 40. Mm-hmm. For him to sit in the chair and just be like, he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. So why y'all coming at me? Ask him to score 40.
Yeah, I don't know what happened for the next 3 games. I think the writing was already on the wall, which is why it was being released in the media from the team saying that they were shopping him earlier this season and stuff like that.
They're trying to replace him with Bill Bridges.
Yeah, by them releasing that information, I feel like the writing was on the wall, and the fight to do all that stuff to defend himself and stick up for the team and stuff like that was out the window already.
Because this year we also have the Donovan Mitchell situation where they end up squabbling a little bit. We had the pushing over the cameraman in the game and getting fined for that for no reason. Problem of it just turned on top of all the Ja stuff. It just seemed like the rest of the Dillon Brooks stuff was just super unnecessary and avoidable. And it brought extra eyes on the team during a time where the eyes are already on the team.
Like,
I'm not agreeing with the situation.
Yeah, let's not get twisted. Like they're doing this to take the light off of Ja. They are scapegoating. They're trying to move this off of Ja because once again, Ja got injured in the playoffs doing some reckless shit.
Yep.
And Ja had a horrendous season this year. So they're trying to move, and Ja's not going anywhere because Ja's the franchise. So they're trying to move this. Like I said, they're scapegoating him. They're trying to put the blame on Dillon Brooks. Does Dillon Brooks deserve all of this blame?
No.
Did he bring this on himself though? Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
Yes, he did. Because I promise you, James, he would not be getting this much heat had he stood there and answered questions after those games.
Or just shut up.
You can't say that and then lose the next 3 games and not talk to the media for 3 games.
And not play well either.
And not play well in those
the not playing well is where it's like the real
that's the biggest part, right?
In.
Like,
because he can get away with all that. He can get away with all that shit if he just played well. He really realistically could.
James, you can't do that's clown shit. James. Like, you can't do that and then run when. Let's James.
Dude, you're just describing Anthony, and it's
I was
hilarious.
about to say we're all friends here. We're all friends here. But
I was thinking Dylan.
Does this not sound like Anthony?
I was thinking the same exact thing right when Dylan said. I mean, I'm not even in front.
Anthony, so you're Dylan Brooks.
Because like when Mike was talking, like literally, I was thinking of the chat.
Anthony recently just goes on this spiel about how he doesn't face the music.
Anthony was probably saying to himself, he's like, shit, I won't do that shit either.
You know, that Dylan Brooks is a smart guy. Like me. That's a smart guy, that Dylan Brooks.
Now that I think about it, I don't that shit neither. So yeah.
No, because when Mike was talking about it just now, I was like, yeah, I agree with Mike said. But then back then I was like, hold up a second. No, I don't. No, I absolutely don't. Wait, I don't do that shit.
So are we not picking up Anthony's 5th-year option here on the podcast because of it? Under no circumstance.
It's just gonna be a press release on our IG page.
Under no circumstance, Anthony was coming back.
Anthony was not brought back for season 3 and the
What was Dylan Brooks' numbers for the last 3 games he played?
Oh God! Oof. Well, let's look this up.
I'd be surprised if I had to guess. I would say probably 10, 3, and 3. If I had to guess.
Let's see, Dylan Brooks. 10, 8, and 11.
8 and 11 what?
Points.
Oh, that's how many points he scored. Because I'm about to say,
yeah.
There's no way that man averaged 10, 8.
Oh, no, hell no. Nah. His last 3 games, he averaged 11, 5, and 4, 8, 2, and 0, and then 10, 4, and 2. Yeah.
That's not good.
It's not good at all.
Not to be a stud. Like, now granted, you know, he don't got to score 20, but like, that was an odd good number.
So he's averaging 9.6 a game. Oh boy.
I know he was shooting like 23% from 3, which is just abysmal.
How old is he?
25% from 3.
Abysmal.
%30 from the field.
27, Anthony.
Yeah.
30% from the field. 27 from 3 or 25 from 3.
30% from the 30% from the field. Like that's
bad.
That's bad.
Just
that was
mediocre.
What, worst or second worst in the playoffs?
I want to know what that contract was that they offered him at the beginning of the year.
He probably got like a $20 million contract.
I would think so. Probably a 3
$20 million a year.
If I had to guess, I would say probably 3 or 4 years, around $90 million.
Yeah.
3-4 year, $90 million. Ugh.
Remember, Dylan Brooks' first few seasons. I remember Mike and I talking about this. I think last year or 2 years ago, or last year before he like broke Gary Payton's arm. About how I was like, yo, you know what Memphis could probably do? Like, I'd trade for Jaylen Brown, Dylan Brooks, and somebody else out there. And me and Mike were like, yo, no, Dylan Brooks is like the heart and soul of that team.
Oh, were we wrong? Well, but like, actually, maybe not.
We're not. We're really not.
I hope
it's just
for
we
the
started
life
talking.
But that whole team talks though. That's the part.
The whole team talk, and Dylan Brooks was playing much like better basketball at the time. It just so happens we have the we're living in the moment right now.
And
where he's been horrendous.
He had a bad,
but like his season this year wasn't bad.
Yeah, I think he averaged 15 this year.
It was like 14.
14,
yeah, 14
and 14 and like 30% from three and around like 40 something from the field. So like he didn't have a bad season. It's just we were living in that moment where it's like, oh, he was fucking bad.
He was bad in the playoffs.
But when you start talking, you have to live up to your talk, and you didn't do that. Like, especially when you're talking to LeBron. Like, seriously, you can't do that shit. Like, I hate when these people, like, when you talk, you gotta back that shit. You can't run like a little, you know what? Like, you gotta face the music, man.
This is the pot calling the like, black. Dude, you need to follow your own advice. This is shit. Give him the one.
This is all that was going through my mind while he was saying that. All that was going through my mind. Because what?
What's wrong with you?
Doesn't matter where it's coming from, as long as somebody follows it. That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
The most valuable thing a man has is his word.
Yep.
Anthony.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'ma just move this segment along. I want to talk about the draft.
Please. Please.
Let's get this over with.
Before you go, I would just like to say Roz is fucking a dramatic motherfucker.
You just realized that?
Or no, like it was so on display during the draft. Like it was unbelievable how Roz was like applying logic to things that didn't need logic applied to them. The Bills took a tight end. Fuck. Like, who fucking cares? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's like the draft is for people to get excited about who they get and like, oh no, that's a good pickup, whatever. To overrate every pick that everybody in the division had is unbelievable. And like he got mad at the Jets pick, which like I wasn't like horrendous at. Like I gave the Jets like a C+ B- draft. Like you did what you're supposed to do.
I was about to say, but to be fair, Dylan, I would say that the Jets probably had the worst draft in the division.
No, the Dolphins did because the Dolphins didn't have picks.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But like,
who had the best draft?
Buffalo
had the best draft. New England,
Buffalo and New England, I think both had better drafts than.
I heard the Eagles had a good draft.
The Eagles won the draft.
The Eagles won the draft. James,
they won the draft.
I think the Patriots won the draft, but I definitely.
Anthony, how did the Patriots win the draft? Please explain to me how the Patriots won the draft, because I will. This is why the Patriots had the third worst draft in the division. The Jets drafted better than the Patriots, and I will explain why. Go ahead, Anthony. Tell me.
Wait, what?
Tell me why the Patriots won the draft.
I don't agree with that. But
you want to know why, Mike? I will explain to you. I will explain to you why, and you're gonna be like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Please explain to me.
No, you first, and then I'll rebuttal.
Me first, and I'll rebuttal. Well, first off, why do you not like their first round pick?
No, I did not say I didn't like the pick. I said I think they got to steal it in their first round pick. I didn't like that they traded out because they fucked us. Because took the offensive lineman, but the corner they took is very good. He's the
Christian Gonzalez. He's
took. But
we've been over this already.
Continue. Why the Patriots had the best draft?
I would say they had one of the best first round drafts. I'm not gonna say they had the best draft.
You don't win the draft in the first round.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, cool.
They didn't have the best first round though.
No, I said they had one of the best first rounds because I really like their pick. In my opinion, I think they didn't
have a better first round than the Texans. They didn't have a better first round than the Eagles.
I said one of.
My dark horse for the draft was the Cardinals.
Cardinals are going to be good.
in
next
terms of
year.
in terms of quantity, I agree with that.
They got quality because they have draft grades attached to the picks that they got and draft value. They got a shit ton of value with what they got.
No, they definitely did.
But so you think the Patriots won the draft because they had a solid first round?
I think they won the first round because they had a really good pick and they addressed a need that they really needed at cornerback, especially with all those.
The bootlicker again.
How am I a Patriots bootlicker? Like I have every reason to hate them just as much as you do. Like,
but you don't. You choose to lick the boot.
I choose to lick the boot.
You choose to lick the boot. Like the Patriots made a good draft pick. Yeah, it was like, oh no, they won the draft. They won the first round. They didn't. They did win the first round.
But Dylan, did they not pick better than y'all in the first round?
They picked different. Their area of need was corner. Imagine if we took him. What sense would that make?
But you just said it right there. Area of need. Did y'all really need Will? What's his name? Did y'all really need McDonald on the?
That was the best player on the board on the Jets board once the lineman went off, and that was the only pick they reached on. They only reached on it because he wouldn't have been there at their second pick. That's the only reason they took him.
I guess that makes sense.
And they did it because they wanted more production off the edge group. The Jets dress 10 for the defensive line. So they're constantly swiping off. And this is a move for next year because Bryce Huff won't be on the roster next year. Even though that's Roz's guy, they're not going to pay Bryce Huff to stay. They replaced him, and they added better depth at the position. So that's why that pick isn't horrendous. Because what are you going to do at that point? You go get, like, I would have loved for them to take Jackson Smith and Jigba there. But, like, you're just picking the best player on the board and not on your board at area of need, right? You went and you picked one of the top 4 most important positions on the field, edge.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you added depth to a good room. Like, the Jets are not drafting for the same way they've been drafting for the last 10 years, where they're drafting, we need talent, production, we need superstars. They're drafting like a team that just got Aaron Rodgers, that is trying to get depth for a couple year run, because they're under the assumption that Rodgers is going to be here for more than a year. So the Jets draft was all about that, getting depth, because depth is important later on in the year. Rest some of your guys get hurt. You need to be able to swap people out. That's why all the Jets draft picks are in that kind of vein of just like, we're not going to get an immediate starter now, except for their second round pick where they got the center. He's probably going to be the starter right off rip because he's really fucking good. But they got guys who are going to be like, hey, these guys are all going to play. That's why, like, I'm not mad at the Jets draft. Again, I give the Jets draft like a B- because, again, they're not going for we got the blue chip talent. They got the easy guy. No, it's just they drafted like a team that needs depth. So they did. Oh, and back to the Patriots. You know who they took with the next 2 picks, Mike?
Who?
Kickers.
I saw that their last 2 picks was a kicker, right? Yeah, I mean the kicker. If you get a good kicker, that's a very key piece.
Why are you drafting a kicker in the 4th round?
But that is true, Dylan. Mike does have a point.
I thought it was the 5th or the 6th.
No, it was the 3rd. They picked the kicker in the 3rd round. 3rd of the 4th round. Why are you doing that?
But here's the only thing I was saying. I was talking about this to a friend the other day. People will shit on kicker selections, but then you watch the NFL season and everyone's complaining about all these damn missed field goals. And can nobody kick.
5th round.
5th round. I'm okay.
Value. It's value.
If I can get Justin Tucker in the 5th round, I'll take that. And I know that's a good quality pick. 4th round, 3rd round, that's pushing it. But I mean, you have a point in there because there's nothing like having
those guys.
Yeah, when you have a really good
those guys shouldn't be graded that high. You can't have them. Like the Bill does this thing where he always trades out of his first, right? And he always collects for later because then you avoid paying guys and you get depth and get more pieces. Blah 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 blah. Right? That's what it is. It's so cool, but the organization it works that way. He finds a lot of duds. And then you get like your what the fuck JC Jacksons that you end up getting like undrafted, and you're like, yo, he actually turned out to be pretty solid. But then it's like, oh, he's just a system guy. Oh well. Like when you're Bill Belichick, one of the best defensive minds in football, yeah, you could afford to do that. But why are you drafting kickers in the 4th round?
Just makes no
That's
sense.
why the Patriots had the worst draft of the division. Miami didn't. I barely had picks, and they picked better than them.
I would still disagree, Dylan, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just the whole draft value. There's a reason why you have values and grades on players. Kickers are not that. You can always get them later at the end of the draft. They're there to be had. Bad value. But let's get to the Titans. Let's do it.
Let's get to the number one pick. Let's get to the number one pick.
Well, let's start with the number one pick first, Dylan.
Mr. Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
I love the Panthers this year.
Couldn't get that hat on over the fro, but it's okay. It's okay.
I love the Panthers this year. If Derek Carr wasn't the quarterback of the Saints, I'd pick the Panthers to win the division.
I think the Panthers will be interesting, but
because the Panthers' defense is built to win games. They still need, and then they added weapons at wide receiver too. They lose DJ Moore, but they bring in Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
And
who else did they bring in too? I know they brought in someone else.
I don't remember exactly, but they brought in weapons on offense. Like Frank Reich is going to be a solid play caller because again, that division's bad. So like they'll win games. So I really think they're going to do really, really well. And they may be in the playoffs.
You said playoffs?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to jump off the
Well,
list.
the NFC. Think about the NFC.
I don't know because the NFC is top heavy. So
all the guys who win the divisions.
And
then a couple other teams like the Eagles, the Cowboys / Giants ish.
So those 2 wild cards right there, and then you got to assume that one of the teams from the West will, or even
Mike, you know this as a fan of a team who plays in a bad division. When you play the bad team's division, that is a 6 potential wins. You just need to figure out how to win 3 more,
or now 4.
Yeah, like if you could get 9, you're knocking on the door.
But which is true. But I mean, Carolina's not going to win 6. They're not going to go 6-0 in the division.
I think they'll beat Tampa. I think they'll beat Atlanta. I think they could split the Saints.
I think that division's better than you think it is.
You said they're going to. Did you say they're going to sweep Tampa?
No, I think they can sweep Tampa. Tampa's bad.
I think Atlanta's better than you think they are.
Yeah, I really do.
Atlanta's defense is very good.
They're not going to need it the way that offense.
Yeah, that offense is looking pretty nice.
I mean,
you got to give him some credit.
I can't give credit to Desmond Ridder because we really don't know what Desmond Ridder is.
But we don't know who Bryce Young is either, though.
I know who Bryce Young is.
We don't know how he is in the NFL.
I know who Desmond Ridder was in college, and he was drafted where he was drafted for a reason. Atlanta's going to trust him. They have Bugattis in Atlanta, right? They just need to figure out the quarterback. The quarterback stirs the drink, right?
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. So if you can't get Desmond Ridder right, blow it up and just tank for Caleb.
He said tank for
Caleb.
I think Atlanta will be fine. New Orleans, like we all agree, is going to be good. Carolina will be okay. Oh, excuse me. Carolina will be okay, and Tampa Bay. I will say this: if Tampa gets a quarterback, they can still be better than you.
And Baker Mayfield.
So, coach is going to have to coach him up. He's going to have to coach him up.
Yeah, we forgot who is the quarterback of the Bucs.
I think he's gonna have to coach him up.
That team at wide receiver has weapons, and they have a good offensive line. It's just the defense is old now. You have arguably your best player in Devin White, who doesn't want to be there anymore.
Nope.
Vontae David and all these other guys, like they're on their way out. They're old. Their window closed with Brady.
Shut.
Locked. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, yo, Carolina could be second in that division. And could be smelling a playoff spot.
Only
I don't know who they play besides their own division. That'll obviously
impact this.
But
who does the NFC South face next year?
I don't know.
I mean, this year, actually.
No clue. I don't know who they faced last year, to be fair.
To be honest with you, I don't know who they played last year either.
Well, I don't blame either one. I don't think many people were paying attention to the NFC South.
Yeah, the NFC South produced a playoff team with a losing record.
Oh, God, it was fucking putrid.
So, what? Let's go with the second pick. They got, CJ Stroud in Houston, who Mike really likes. I think the system that they're bringing over there is quarterback friendly. But that's exactly the type of offense Stroud is kind of used to. On-time throws. No, these are your reads. Go get them. Run first. Blah 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 blah. I don't really know who's their wide receiver.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sure.
But I just know that I did not like the fact that the Texans seem like they have someone in charge that knows what they're doing. I did not like it.
Oh, he definitely knows.
Well, they gave up a lot to get 3, though.
How much did they give up again to get that third?
They gave up 3 firsts?
No, they gave up 2. And
they gave up 2 this year,
and I think they gave up a second
and then 1 next year.
Yeah.
They gave their first next year for it.
Oh, they gave their first next year as well. Shit.
But Will Anderson's a dog.
He is a dog. He will change that. They have JJ Watt 2.0.
That is a D'Amico Ryans pick if I've ever seen it. That is a D'Amico Ryans pick where it's like, yep, let's go get him. And then the Cardinals, like trading that pick, I was hearing all day that the Titans were working out a deal.
Yes, as Dylan was flooding the chat, Mike, it's going to happen.
I didn't say it's going to happen. I said the Titans are working right now. Because I was hearing it was going to be the first and DeAndre Hopkins. That they had a deal to get pick 3 and DeAndre Hopkins. But I think that was just smoke to just get somebody else to offer more.
Did King Henry get traded? Did that happen?
No.
Are you still waiting for those tiers?
I still think it can happen.
That you just knew it was going to happen.
Oh my god!
I still think it can happen.
Just knew it was going to happen.
Listen, they were trying.
Uh-huh.
They were trying.
We still have a Hulk.
That's probably the worst rumor.
You know who else you have? A Levis.
Wow.
Best case scenario, he doesn't play a down this year.
I think he is significantly better than Malik Willis. So if he's put into a spot where he has to play, I think he'll be better. I hate that everybody said he was NFL ready because I think it's wrong. I think Mel Kiper is an ass clown for having him being his number 1 quarterback in the fucking draft. That's crazy to me. But I think if he was put in a position later on in the year where he had to play, I think he'd be fine. I don't know, though. If he had to start off rip, you're in trouble. But I still think you guys should have went wide receiver. That's the one thing for me. Like I get you guys taking offensive line, but like
that was a solid pick. I had no.
That was a good pick
because you lost 3 starters on your line this year.
No problem.
That receiver room did not get better. It got worse because it lost people.
I would have liked JSN, but you know.
I don't know what the offensive passing game is going to be like without wide receivers who can get open.
I still think he's better than you think he is, but
like even if Burks is better than I think he is, right? You need more than one.
You do need more than one. I just want to point out that he's better than everything on your roster, on your receiving core last year, except Garrett Wilson. He's better than all of them.
He's not. Look at his numbers. They're not.
He's better. I don't know. I will stand by that. We will not argue about it.
Well, here's the thing. You're standing by. Like,
Here we go.
Alex,
Here we go.
that's the thing. We did this already. The Jets' tight end was better than your first wide receiver.
Are going to go off of stats without watching the Titans.
I watched a lot of the Titans.
He's better than all of your receivers except Garrett Wilson. Now,
he's not better than Corey Davis.
He is better than Corey Davis.
He's not.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you had Corey Davis.
He's better than Mims.
And Corey Davis is better than him.
He's better than all of them. But
we'll based on what?
I watch him play, Dylan. You can watch. How do you know Bryce Young is good? Has he played it down in the NFL? Has he played,
I think the situation he's going to.
You think? Okay.
I've watched him play in college. The situation he's going to, not even I think, the situation he's going to is a good situation. It's just you replaced A.J. Brown with Treylon Burks.
And that was a mistake. I didn't say he's as good as A.J. Brown. He's not.
Fun fact, I don't think Treylon Burks will ever produce as good as Corey Davis's best year in Tennessee.
We will see.
I don't think Treylon Burks has the strong enough hands as good as a route runner as Corey Davis is. And that's coming from a guy who has watched Corey Davis go from dropping 2 balls all year in his best year with you guys. Again, let me continue. In his last year with you guys, where he put up like 1,200 yards or a little bit over 1,000 yards, I'm sorry, he dropped 2 passes all year to come into the Jets, immediately tripling that in his first 2 games, still putting up better numbers than Treylon Burks while having garbage throw him the ball.
So, Dylan, again, I watch the Titans every game. It's my favorite team. Do you remember when you guys got Corey Davis? Do you remember me not caring at all and telling you that he was not going to be good? Do you remember this? Because
I wish we did the pod when I got Corey Davis, so I could tell you what my exact thoughts on Corey Davis were.
Because I remember saying exactly what you got was what you was going to get. Now, how would I say that if he was coming off this great season, unless I watched him every week and knew it was all smoke and mirrors?
Well, here's the thing: numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Okay.
Again, if you go back to, I referenced this, the best season he had, he only dropped the ball twice. And when we got Corey Davis, I said, if we get the Titans receiver who doesn't drop the ball, I think it's solid. I understand why they do it because of the offense that they run. But it made sense for Corey Davis to be the wide receiver.
That was the only tape that you had on him in the NFL was him not dropping the ball. So how would you know?
That's not true. In the NFL, in his first couple of years, he dropped more than 2 passes a year. I know this.
Did you know he was going to drop 7, 8, 9 passes?
I thought it was a possibility. Because, again, you go off this last year and you're like, if he does this, we're fine. He didn't do that. So it's like Corey Davis to the moon. But I get why they did it because that type of wide receiver made more sense in the style of offense you're playing as opposed to a Juju Smith-Schuster or a Kenny Golladay.
Thank goodness we didn't get him.
And Corey Davis, in the time he has played with us, has been better than both Juju Smith-Schuster and Kenny Golladay.
Kenny Galladay's been terrible, but he's another one. His numbers, his stats would tell you that he is a very good receiver.
If I got a Kenny Golladay that wanted to play football, Kenny Golladay is badass.
If you watch him play, he is not very good.
I watched Kenny Golladay in Detroit. Kenny Golladay was a badass.
Yeah, he was a badass in Detroit.
He went to New York, got hurt, and then him and Dable got into it, and Dable was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not for lack of talent, because I wanted Kenny Golladay. I wanted Kenny Golladay so fucking bad. Because he was a physical receiver, big physical receiver to go get it. It's just he was hurt. So it was a bad deal for the Giants. And the Jets, gave a way better contract to Corey Davis because they gave him 2 years. And then the third year was like no money. So we could cut bait in year 3 if we needed to. The only reason he's still on the roster is because Aaron Rodgers wants him.
And Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb will be lucky if he catches 15 passes this year. I hate that we signed him.
Come on, Dylan. You knew that was coming.
I knew it was coming. I thought it was. I honestly completely forgot about it.
Continue to kiss the ring.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers, as much as I'm like so iffy on this move, he's doing everything you're supposed to do when you get to New York.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing everything. Won the press conference. He's out there shaking hands, kissing babies.
He's at Rangers games,
Knicks games.
He's going to be throwing out a pitch at the Mets games. The Yankees still haven't reached out to him. Fucking, what are you doing?
I mean, it's no secret. The Yankees and the Giants are like this.
Yeah, but the Jets are also there too. So like, it doesn't make a difference. It's Rodgers is doing that thing where he's trying to make me like him, and I'm just like I'm still on the fence. I have to stand 10 toes down. Like
they're calling him washed all that
until he throws 40 touchdowns next year.
I told you the only way I'm not like I'm forgiving Aaron Rodgers. There's two ways. He wins the Super Bowl, then I'm admonished. Everything I've ever said about Aaron Rodgers goes out the window because he proved me wrong.
He just can't prove you wrong with a really good season. He has to win a Super Bowl.
No, because the expectations are a lot different, right? If he wins MVP, like I have to fucking like swallow my pride and be like, I'm sorry.
Which is a possibility. I know you've heard the stat, Dylan, because it was circling the talk radio rounds. Anthony, I don't know if you know this though. Did you know that since Broadway Joe Namath, that the Jets, any Jet from 1974 or 73, any New York Jet player has not received a single MVP vote since then. Not win the award, not win it, get a vote. Oh,
damn.
I mean, 74 on was a very dark time.
Dylan,
a very dark time.
That's 50
and it's
years,
all
buddy.
Joe Namath's. It's all Joe's fault because Joe sold his soul to the devil. He said, "Listen, hi, it's me, Joe again. I know we're friends here, but if you help me win the Super Bowl against this team we have no business beating, I'll win it, and this franchise will never have success ever again."
Dylan, I find it hysterical because it is a fact when you call Anthony's Raiders a poverty franchise. But that is a tough stat. That is a tough.
It's bad. It's bad.
Stat.
But like, listen, I know what I got myself into.
Like, not a vote. Like, it'd be one thing because if you never had a winner, that's it's a popularity contest most of the time anyway.
I can't believe like, Favre would have gotten votes if he didn't fuck up his arm and fucking keep going.
Vote, like,
it's tough.
That's crazy.
Get a vote.
That's crazy.
It's tough. It's a hard thing to do, but like,
then
there's a real possibility that Rodgers can win that. Like, really?
I mean, I'm hoping he should get a vote. I mean, I would think he's gonna get a vote.
The thing is, the Jets just need Rodgers to be washed. Like the Rodgers you got last year, if the Jets had that Rodgers, that's fantastic.
You're actually
compared
right.
Compared to what we've been throwing out there, I'll take 33 touchdowns.
You said watch, you had me confused for a second. Then I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, Zach Wilson. I was like, yeah, he's right.
But here's the thing, Anthony, he's not washed. That's
compared to what he's been. It's washed.
But essentially, I see what Dylan's trying to say. Like basically, this version of Aaron Rodgers, the dumbed down version. I'm just gonna use dumbed down. I don't want to use the word washed. The dumbed down Aaron Rodgers you got last year. Yeah, that would have been good enough to take the Jets to the playoffs. That much I can admit.
That would have been good enough to like potentially win a playoff game. Like,
maybe.
You just need a competent quarterback. This is the first time Aaron Rodgers has a top 5 defense since he's won the Super Bowl. And this is the first time in his career he's throwing to multiple first-round picks at wide receiver. Or any first-round options. Yeah, Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis are both first-round picks. Breece Hall, first-round pick at running back. Like, that stat to me is hilarious. That he's fine, like this is what he has. But then I have like the Packers fans who are still mad that Rodgers is gone, and they're like, "Congratulations, Aaron Rodgers is now throwing to a worse wide receiver room than he's ever had." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" All the Packers wide receivers have just been really top heavy, where they have one really, really good one, and the rest are kind of just like bad.
No, that's the Jets last year.
Huh?
That was the Jets last year.
No, the Jets had one. Corey Davis played 12 games and still had more numbers than all your wide receivers. He had more. He had better numbers than two of your wide receivers combined.
Room was not good. You can
better than I said. I said it was 15.
Spin it, and what about Tennessee?
Tennessee
wide receiving room was not good.
But you don't have anything to actually combat that because you don't watch enough Jets games and you don't look at stats.
That the Jets,
because you still think that
the entire wide receiving room.
They revamped the entire wide receiving room
because it is trash.
They revamped the entire wide receiving room.
Yes.
Did they?
Yes.
Did they?
It's a.
Or did they replace two guys? Oh shit! Look at that! Look at that!
So, Garrett Wilson will be the 1.
Yup.
Lazard will be the 2.
Yup.
So you already have another number 2. You gonna tell me Corey Davis is the 3?
No, Garrett Wilson's gonna be in the slot. Corey Davis will be on the outside with Lazard, and they're gonna Corey Davis and Garrett will be swapping in and out of that role. And then when you go 4 wide, you're gonna have your occasional sense of McCole Hardman being the end around guy. But yes, he replaced Braxton Berrios, who Braxton Berrios was really only on the team because he was a all-pro kick returner.
Bomb receiver.
Yes, that was never an argument.
Mims.
Whenever we argued, I never brought Braxton Berrios into it.
Mims
is talented. I really still believe in Mims. The problem here is
can't get on the field.
When he was on the field last year, he was awesome. He absolutely was awesome. It's just Corey Davis came back, and Corey Davis played really well in the games he came back. Like that Minnesota Vikings game. Corey Davis was awesome that game. The problem is the games going forward, that fucking sack of shit was playing quarterback.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to only throw the ball 65 yards or interceptions. And there were 65 yards to Garrett or CJ Uzama. And then proceeded the next game to not throw anything complete. That Jaguars game where Chris Strevler went in and made Zach look a fucking fool.
I think the Jaguars took the pedal off the metal, but whatever.
How many yards?
The Jaguars took the pedal off the Jaguars won by like what? 2 scores? And the only time the Jets scored is because Quinton Williams stripped Trevor Lawrence. The Jags literally had their foot off the gas on offense the entire game.
The defense.
The defense didn't even have to step foot on the floor. Zach couldn't complete a pass.
And that was a primetime game too. That's what made it
Thursday
so.
Night games don't count as primetime games.
That's primetime for the Jets, man.
Yeah, that's primetime.
Except for this year.
I was primetime. I was a primetime.
That was a primetime game.
I hate Thursday Night Football because they don't put good games on Thursday Night Football.
They
put
try.
all the bad games.
They try.
They try week 1 and then they go, no, never mind.
Try and it never works.
Well, week 2 was a good game. That was the Chiefs and the Chargers. That was a good one.
And then week 3 was what? San Francisco and Denver. And there was more punt yards than pass yards.
That was the probably top 5 most boring games I've ever watched.
That was
in
one
my
of
life.
the worst football games I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, it was brutal. So fucking brutal to watch. It was so bad Denver fans were leaving and the game wasn't even over yet. Like, that's how fucking bad it was.
Yeah,
like,
Russ is washed. Russ is actually washed. I don't care what Sean. This is gonna be my point to Roz all year. I don't give a fuck who's coaching. Just because you were a good coach somewhere else doesn't mean you're a good coach wherever you are. Russ is washed. Russ is gone.
That was the biggest disappointment. Single-handedly the biggest disappointment of last year.
Russ has never been good in an offense that requires timing precision. Russ makes his bread like rolling out for no reason and just making something out of nothing.
He said rolling out for no reason.
Like, if you take a look at Russ's entire career, like all of his like big moments and big plays, it's never like in phase. It's always because he steps out to make the play, but like he doesn't always need to. Like, not saying Russ isn't a Hall of Fame quarterback, But like in an offense where it requires him to do so, to sit there and make the play, we saw last year he doesn't pull the trigger. Like Nathaniel Hackett, like not saying this just because he's a Jet now. It's just like his offense, like in the red zone last year, was a really good offense. It's one of the top scoring offenses in football when they get to the red zone.
Nathaniel Hackett was a disgrace to football.
You want to try that again?
Disgrace.
Look at the numbers.
He got him close to say that shit.
I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to look at Denver's.
The worst coach in football. Not Russ. He was terrible.
You want to know who actually was the worst coach in football? The team that had the number 1 pick. No, it was a combination of Hackett and Russ, but like Hackett's numbers in the red zone are like incredible.
So it's Hackett's numbers. It's not Russ's numbers.
Well, the offense. So let's find Russ and Hackett. When they got to the red zone, they were a top 5 offense. The problem is they never got to the red zone.
Yeah, I was
and
waiting
it was a combination of Russ not pulling the trigger on open guys and just stupid fumbles by the running backs.
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon loves fumbling the football. Always has, always will. So, like, it's crazy to see that. Like, again, Nathaniel Hackett has history as a good play caller. The problem is, like, Russ was the problem. You know, they had a game last year. They were like, yo, let's see when Russ throws as many touchdowns as he has bathrooms in his house. He has 8 bathrooms in his house. He didn't reach that until like week 16.
It's a lot of bathrooms.
It's a lot.
I know, it's an incredibly large amount of bathrooms. But like those are the stats show that when in the correct position, like guys are open. There's a reason why KJ Hamler was throwing his helmet in the end zone when he's wide open and Russ ain't pulling the trigger.
We're gonna see.
I don't think unless Sean Payton can fix Russ like being in phase in an offense, then like Russ better just retire. Because man, I'm going to throw that in Roz's face because he fire everybody and bring me fucking John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, who never faced adversity as a coach, was handed a great situation. Went left to go. He was handed a great situation.
In where? San Francisco or Michigan?
Mm-hmm. San Francisco.
Okay.
He was handed a great situation because the second he got there, oh, look at all these elite talent on the defense that he inherited. He just had to bench Alex Smith to put Colin Kaepernick in with good wide receiver weapons and Anquan Bolden and Michael Crabtree. Oh, and one of the best tight ends of the last 10 years, and Vernon Davis. Like,
Vernon Davis was a stud. Vernon Davis was a fucking stud.
And he had, Hall of Fame running back Frank Gore. Like, what are we doing here? And then when the situation got tough, he ran to avoid the rebuild there. Went to Michigan.
And did a rebuild.
And did a rebuild. And guess what? He should have been fired 3 times in Michigan because he never was able to beat Ohio State until this year. Until
he's now beaten Ohio State 2 times in a row and was in the
national
championship game.
And you know that was the first 2 times he's beaten Ohio State in 7 years. So like, and then let's just hand him a Jet team.
So let
him go to work.
So that's what you think is going to happen here?
What?
Roz's dream is going to happen. And
no, I think Roz is going to try to argue me when I was saying, hey, just because you were a good coach in San Francisco with elite talent around you doesn't mean you can go to the Jets and be a good coach.
We'll see. How long, by the way, before we move off of football, how long before the fire salad starts for us? How long you give it? 2 weeks?
The opening kickoff.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
I do not. It's gonna become.
Well. We got
halftime of game 1.
Got to see the schedule first.
It's gonna become halftime game 1. I guarantee it. If the Jets lose to the Giants, it's fire Bob Saleh. I'm calling it because I
play
think
the Giants week 1.
That's what everybody's saying. It's gonna be Giants Jets week 1 Monday Night Football as the opening game of Monday Night Football.
I give it like 3-4 weeks.
That's tough.
You're being generous. We were getting fire Saleh in week 1 this year.
But I think Raz's whole thing with Robert Saleh is just his overall coaching record. Even though he did pretty well this year, it was just he didn't do that well the year before. That's what
the problem is. Roz wants you to be a winning head coach right away, or you're a bum. He doesn't care that you doubled your win total, that you more than doubled your win total. He doesn't care that you meet the expectations that are set. He's like, he's still a losing head coach.
But that's the part that confused me because we were all on board about the Jets winning 7 games at the beginning of this year, and then he was still complaining.
Ross isn't happy about anything. He keeps comparing Saleh to what the fuck's his name from the 90s, and I'm like, he was a winning coach before he got to the Jets. Like, that doesn't mean he was a bad coach. Like, he won 10 games before he got to the Jets in a season with the Eagles. Like, what are we doing here? Like, he was a above 500 coach of the Jets, and then he lost all but 4 games in his entire coaching tenure.
All I'm gonna say is get ready for another year of self-loathing.
Like, even so, the only way, like, after this season, let's say we win. I'm being generous here because I don't know what the schedule is. Or let's say we win 12 games, right? After the season, we get eliminated in the playoffs. Robert Saleh still sucks because he's not a winning head coach. That's the narrative that's going to be spun. And it's going to be like, he's literally improved year over year. He took the 30th ranked defense to the top 5 ranked defense in football in a year's time. And then you give him this team. He had to rechange the staff because the fucking play caller he hired was a fucking first-time play caller who never called plays and was an idiot. You replace him with a guy who has a better play calling background. Like, you get Aaron Rodgers on the team because Zach Wilson was a fucking bust. Like, you fucked up. The front office still doesn't acknowledge it. They're still trying to save him. So, like, got to give him a shot. Like, coach, like, you get 4 years as a coach, really, unless you're fucking horrendous. And Saleh hasn't been horrendous.
He has not.
No, he's been pretty good.
He's been, to this point, very good. Like, yeah, he was handed dog shit year 1. Then he turned chicken shit to chicken salad year 2. And then you have your quarterback carousel. And then you get Aaron Rodgers. So let's see if that defense the defense is a win now defense. Just can the offense produce?
I already told you. You already know where I stand on the Jets. There's no excuses. All the excuses that y'all were making last year, there's none. Everything you wanted, you got. There's no excuses.
Yeah, no, this is a dream for a fan base.
If the Jets were in the AFC South, y'all win the division. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like,
I still think there's a chance the Jets like compete and win the division here.
I like the compete part. I agree with the win part.
If we don't win the division, we're gonna miss it by a game. Because again, this Jets team beat the Bills with Zach Wilson. The Jets team almost beat the Bills again with Mike White.
That is your fallback to everything. If we didn't have Zach Wilson, we did this with Zach Wilson. We did okay.
Well, Zach Wilson was putrid though. He was.
Right.
Mike refuses to acknowledge how bad Zach was.
No, Zach was pretty awful.
But he was not the end all be all of all your troubles. That's my point. He was not the only reason y'all lost.
Did you know we played a Patriot game where he was negative yards in the second half?
Your wide receivers were not as good as you think they were. Once Bryce got hurt, your running game disintegrated.
Here's something you will never, ever do, and I will challenge you for this every time.
In big spots, your defense did not get the stop that you needed. Look at the second half of the season. Look at the close games that y'all had at the end of the year. When y'all needed a big stop, that defense did not get it.
Do you know what else you need in big games?
We were
to score points.
We were ranked number
You need
5.
to score points.
Yep,
you need to put points on the board.
It's all Zach's fault. So okay.
Mike,
Okay.
I've done this before, and I
So
will
did
do
the
it
running
again.
game
I
just
challenge
after Brakes
you.
got hurt? Was that a
I
thing, or did I
challenge
make that
you.
up?
No, I'm not. I will acknowledge that. But here's
Okay.
what we need to do.
Does a young second-year quarterback need a strong running game, or is that not a thing?
Does a young second-year quarterback need to
we-
learn how to throw the ball on time?
We're going to answer questions, or are we going to answer questions with questions?
He needs a good running game, yes. But let me ask my question now. Thank you. I've challenged you on this before, and I will challenge you on this every week of the NFL season. I want you to watch tape with me. I want you to watch this stuff with me, and I want you to point out the things that I see when I point out tape. When guys are wide fucking open, and he's throwing the ball 30 yards over their head, or he's late on his assignment when throwing the ball on the timing route of these routes. The kid can't throw a fucking slant. He can't throw a bubble screen. He dirts screen passes. He is better at throwing to the ground on screen passes than throwing to the running back or wide receiver on screen passes. He is always late on every middle of the field route within 5 yards. And you want to know why he's always late? Here's the key trait on knowing when a quarterback is late on their timing on a route. When he zips the ball 95 miles an hour because he missed his window. That's when you know guy's late. When instead of throwing the ball out of bounds, when trying to throw the ball out of bounds, you throw an interception. When you're overthrowing your receiver on a back foot running, and you sail your receiver to hit the safety in the middle of the field who's nowhere near the play. Is that the wide receiver's fault? No, it's not. So until you sit there and watch the amount of tape I watch,
but it is not only that.
I will not take anything you say about this Jets team or the past Jets team a lick, because you don't see what I see. You don't. I will gladly watch Titans tape with you. Gladly. But you won't take my offer because you don't want to be proven wrong.
No, I don't have the time for that.
Oh, bullshit.
I don't have the time for that.
We have the time for this. We have the time to do that. If we could have the time to do multiple post-game lives on top of our normal pod, we can watch tape together.
I have a feeling Mike doesn't want to sit down and watch Jets tape.
Because it goes against his argument. It goes against his argument.
When
we're sitting here and he has more than one Jet fan here and a Raider fan acknowledging that Zach was fucking awful.
I'm not saying Zach wasn't bad. That's the part that seems to go in one ear and out the other.
He was.
What I'm saying is you and the rest of Jets Nation acting like he is the sole reason that y'all were terrible last year is not true.
You watched that Jaguars game.
The rest of that team
you watched that Jaguars game.
Not as good as you think they were.
You watched that Jaguars game.
I did watch that Jaguars.
That is all you need to see.
I watched that Jaguars game, and I saw that offensive line was not very good also. I saw that too.
Well, no,
we don't.
The problem is
say that.
No, that's not true. I've acknowledged what the Jets team was last year.
Offensive line was shaky. The
Jets' offensive line last year was all fourth stringers.
Was it shaky or not?
It was, absolutely. But guess
what? Did we
what?
disagree that you had no running game after Bryce got hurt?
Yes.
So is it out of the realm of possibility that
actually, if you want to be for real here,
young quarterback who has not even played a full season yet to struggling in a win now environment when he has a rabid fan base critiquing everything that he does and, oh my goodness, lost confidence and ended up ruining the season. Like,
why was Mike White better then?
Because he didn't have all the pressure on him that Zach did. Mike White came in and completed 2 passes, and the Jet fans thought they had the quarterback of the future.
You want to know why? That second pass was a 45-yard fucking touchdown pass.
And was he not proclaimed the quarterback of the future?
No, he was not. He was not.
Anthony,
he was not.
Am I bugging here? Because I know that I came on this show and said y'all need to calm down because Mike White stinks. I know I came on here and said Mike White stinks. I know that.
Let's acknowledge what Dylan said.
Jets fans were bigging up Mike White. They were bigging the shit out of him, Mike.
hold me accountable for what I say.
All right.
Because I said, let Mike White rock for the rest of the year. And then you see how it goes. If he keeps playing like this, bring him back. And then give him a chance to win the job. Right? That's what you do. If he would have came in and played how he did the first 3 games of him being back before he was just speared in half and just by Buffalo. One never got the Jets, the only team in football to not get a roughing the passer call. Before he was speared in half twice in Buffalo, then yeah, you would have had to bring him back and like you let him compete for the job. That's what you're supposed to do because he came in and he energized the team. The run game worked with him.
Or you could watch the tape and see he stinks, and you go get a 40-year-old quarterback because he stinks.
That 40-year-old quarterback's Aaron Rodgers.
Regardless,
That's
if it
not
was Aaron,
regardless.
No, because if the Jets
it's not regardless.
If the Jets did not get Aaron Rodgers, they were going to go get another quarterback. You know why?
There's no other quarterback there.
They would have.
They missed the ball. They dropped the ball. They were supposed to get Derek Carr.
They put all their chips on the table for Aaron Rodgers because they think Aaron Rodgers is going to win the Super Bowl this year. So they put all their chips on the table for Aaron. If they could not get in, if they knew that they wasn't going to get Aaron, I promise you they would have got Derek Carr, any of these Jimmy G,
Jimmy G was never an option.
Because Mike White stinks. That's why. They know it. I know it.
Well, yeah, he came back hurt, and then he went out there and sucked. So I was like, yeah, okay, move on.
He's a backup quarterback.
Yeah, if he would have played the way he did those first 3 games where he was really fucking good, then you bring him back. But then he got speared in half. Because guess what? That Buffalo game before he got broken in fucking half, he was very good. That's what people fail to realize. Like Mike White just had a better command of the offense than Zach did because he's a quarterback who can follow reads and make throws on time. That's what that offense was. The San Francisco offense is predicated on that. Brock Purdy runs it to a fucking T, and he was Mr. Irrelevant. Right? Mike White
about to be irrelevant again.
He's not because Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback. But Mike White just understood the offense better. Zach is a much more talented player than Mike White is, but when you have a better control of the offense runs better. It's crazy. Running game worked better with Mike White. Passing game worked better than Mike White. When you have Zach in the game, you could put 9 in the box the whole time because they know he can't complete anything. Because he can't complete screen passes. He can't complete short routes. Zach has to throw a 45-yard pass or it's not completed. Like, I've never seen somebody excel at the hard things. Like, a God-given ability to throw the ball fucking 90 yards on a whim is fucking ridiculous. But he can't throw a slant.
Yeah, and even those long passes, not like he was completing them like that either. Like,
no, it's just
he just know how to throw them. Yeah, he just
threw them up.
Yeah,
but still, like he completed a better percentage of deep passes than he did short passes. It's insane. I just don't get it. But again, you need to have a better command of the offense. Zach didn't have a good command of the offense. He would miss his reads constantly. Again, Mike, you will refuse to acknowledge that guys were open because you're not watching what I'm watching. But you'll say the wide receivers didn't get open. No, Zach just can't complete the throw.
It was a combination of both. The amount of blame that you're giving him is not what it was. That's all I keep saying.
Because he needs to complete the pass to the open receivers.
All I say over and over again is it was not all Zach's fault. That doesn't mean
second
it wasn't
Patriot
some
game
of Zach's fault.
Was all Zach Wilson. Because Garrett Wilson was open 85% of that game. And he was getting furious with Zach because wide open and Zach's just like interception. Just follow your reads. That's all it is. Just follow your reads. If you go look at Zach in BYU, he didn't throw short passes good then either. All of his highlight tapes are him throwing 45-yard bombs.
Okay, it's okay. All right, there's no excuses.
There's not excuses. And if the Jets win 10 games, what's the deal? Is it going to be like, oh shit, no, it is Zach?
No, because the way that Jet fans talk,
hold me accountable for what I say.
The way Jet fans talk, the Jets should win 13 games this year.
Hold me accountable for what I say.
Even the way you talk, the Jets should win 12 games this year.
My expectation's 10.
How can the Jets be as good as you think and upgrade the quarterback that much, and it only equates to what? What did you have? 7 wins? 8
3
wins?
more wins. You want to know why?
3 more wins. How is that possible?
Because Aaron Rodgers is washed.
But regardless, you just said
3 more games better, though.
If you get washed Aaron Rodgers,
that won me 10 games last year. Absolutely.
So the Jets won 9 games. I don't know, 8 or 9.
Throw in the garbage.
No,
won 7 games last year.
7?
They won 7 games last year.
They won 7. So if Mike White starts every game, how many games do y'all
win? Do I still get the injury that happened?
No.
Oh, 10. We get 10.
So
we also played a lighter schedule. We played a lighter schedule
last year.
Last year we played a lighter schedule.
So you're telling me that Mike White is equivalent to Aaron Rodgers?
Last year, yeah. Because guess what? If Mike White played against the Detroit Lions, we win that game. Zach threw that game away. If Mike White was able to play in Jacksonville, we win that game. Because the defense stayed on their head and just waiting for our offense to happen. That's 2 more games right there. This year, I still think we win 10 games because we're also playing tougher competition. Do you know who we're playing? We're playing the NFC East.
I'm looking at the schedule right now.
And we're playing the AFC West.
Home against Kansas City, home against Chargers, home against the Eagles.
So let me wrap my brain around this because you're saying
some tough games, though.
Mike White
against worse teams wins the same amount of games as Aaron Rodgers against good teams. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Last year's Aaron Rodgers on your team, y'all win 10.
Yeah. You could win more. I'm just saying 10 was my minimum there. If Aaron Rodgers on the team, we'd probably win 12. But Mike White gives me 10.
All right. Now we have a baseline. Okay. Because I'm sitting here about to disconnect this podcast if you're telling me Mike White is just as good as Aaron Rodgers, because that's just going to end this podcast tonight abruptly. Because no, there's no
he's just as good as washed Aaron Rodgers.
There's no world where Mike White is as good as one-legged Aaron Rodgers. There's none.
No, that's not true.
It's none.
One-legged Aaron Rodgers? No.
Still better.
We're not doing that.
Still better.
No, if we had Mike White play the whole year, we probably get 10 because then you get the Lions win, you get the Jaguars win, and you get that Dolphins win at the end of the season.
How do you get
can't you make the argument that you get one of those Patriots wins, that one in New England?
You also could make the argument for the Patriot win. But that's just going with the situations being as they were, but I have Mike White without the injury. Because that Jet Dolphin game was asking to be had if Joe Flacco was just not Joe Flacco.
I could have sworn you said that like 6 different times for Zach Wilson.
Joe Flacco that I said was not a starting NFL quarterback, and I was telling you that Robert Saleh is a liar for saying that Joe Flacco is a starter.
Did I agree with you? Because I did.
You believed.
No.
Yeah,
Here's what you need to realize about me with Joe Flacco. I hated Joe Flacco playing game 1.
You did. You did not want him to play.
I did not want him to play.
But you thought y'all could win. You thought y'all could win, though.
I said I think we had a chance to win, but Joe Flacco did that thing where he's Joe Flacco, where he's a fucking statue.
It's trash.
He's a statue. He just got hit. I'm just like, Mike White should have played that game.
Trash.
Mike White should have played that game. But yeah, no, I think Mike White in last year's schedule where we played worse teams and worse defenses, absolutely. This year, playing better competition, I expect 10.
But my question is, where do you get those 10 wins on the schedule? Like, that's what I really want to know. Like,
I think we beat the Patriots. I think we get 2 on the Patriots.
You sweep them?
Yes. I think we sweep the
Okay.
Patriots. I think we split Miami, Buffalo, Miami and Buffalo.
So that's 4.
That's 4. I think we beat the Commanders.
It's 5.
I think we beat the Giants.
6.
I know. Go ahead.
We play you guys.
Yeah, you play us.
We beat you.
7. I mean, no, 6. Sorry.
We play Denver too.
Yeah.
We beat Denver.
7.
Who else is on the schedule? Because I know it's not just the East and the West.
It's the at Dallas, at the Browns.
I think we beat the Browns.
Okay, that's 8 right there.
Yeah, you be careful.
Home against the Falcons. Home
We beat
against
the
the
Falcons.
Texans.
We beat the Texans.
You beat the Texans. You probably beat the Falcons too. They're not ready yet. You be careful with that Browns game. Deshaun with a year under his belt. You be careful.
Their defense still stinks though.
You be careful.
No, I think we beat them, but I don't.
I'm not saying
overestimate
that,
anybody.
I'm not
or underestimate anybody. But I think
just
Aaron Rodgers against a bad defense, I'll take.
Blanketly saying y'all gonna beat the Browns. That's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah, I'll take
You know,
Aaron Rodgers against a bad defense.
I can see those. I can see those games big.
But we're only at 9. We're only at 9.
No. I think we're at 10. I got 10. Yeah, that's 10 right there. I mean, the bias in me wouldn't agree with the Raiders one. I'll just say I can see y'all beating us, so I'm gonna go that far.
I was about to say, do we even have to wait until that game? Can we just put a wheel spin on that game now? Can we just do
Absolutely?
It now? Can we just do it? Because Anthony, let's not play games. You know that they're going to be talking shit that week. He's going to be talking shit that week. Like, let's
hold on. Wait. The reason why I said no will spin just yet, I need to see what the schedule looks like first. Because if that game is week 13 and we're fucking like 3-10 or some shit, then I'm like, nah, I'm betting on that.
3-10 if y'all going to make the playoffs.
I'm just saying.
It sounds to me like he's hedging his bets.
Hold on. Because after what happened this year with the NBA, like I said, I should have put barring injury before every goddamn prediction I put.
The only reason I will give you a pass is if it's like week 16 and like nobody's playing. Then I can understand that because that's a real thing in the NFL.
My favorite thing would be
if Garoppolo goes
6. That's a wheel spin. 1 through 6, wheel spin. I don't want to hear it. 1 through 6, no excuses.
We can talk about that. But if Garoppolo goes down with an injury and we're fucking 3-10,
Anthony.
He's healthy right now.
I thought you didn't have to worry about this, Anthony, because he was a good man and he was healthy.
It's 50-50. But
Jimmy Garoppolo will be hurt by week 5.
Like I said, if he goes down with an injury, we're 3-10, and we face the Jets week 14 or 15. I'm not placing no bet on that shit. I'm not. I don't even care if the Jets are having a down season. I still won't put a bet on that shit. I'm not.
Visit this when the schedule gets released.
No, but Mike, to your point, if it's weeks 1 through 6, I don't know about a wheel spin, but I'll definitely consider a payment plan. So, like,
I don't
we'll
want
see.
A payment plan. I want the wheel. One, you owe me 2 wheel spins. I mean, you owe me your punishments.
Yeah, the punishments. You owe us the punishment.
You owe us the punishments.
Yes, I know. I'm a man of my word.
And when we give you this gummy bear, you better not play that. Oh, I lost it.
No, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word, dude. I'm not like somebody else who doesn't show up so they avoid their consequences. So I will stay here.
He's talking about Raz.
Oh, okay. No, I definitely thought he was taking shots at me. Still waiting for him to be like, "Oh, I'm home."
Why are you so sensitive?
God, see me taking shots.
No, that was for Raz.
Don't you?
No, but Raz is smart though. Raz is as smart as man.
Don't worry. We never forget.
Can't punish me if I don't.
I
show
also
up,
can't
man.
wait for that Jets Cowboys game.
Wow.
I think the Jets can compete in that game.
They can compete because those are 2 good defenses. But
I'm really hoping
And
that
I'm
the
waiting. If
rumors
Dak is Dak, then it's like.
But
Aaron Rodgers owns the
has
Cowboys.
this thing where he just kills the Cowboys. So
And that would, my brother is a massive Cowboys fan.
So is Mario.
So nothing would make me happier than to be like, death taxes, Aaron Rodgers owns the Cowboys. Doesn't matter what shade of green he's wearing.
I'm really, really hoping that the rumors are not true about the Jets having 5 primetime games. I will flip shit.
I'm hearing that Jets Cowboys might be Thanksgiving.
I can't deal with that. I can't. No, that would be so
You're acting
corny.
like that would be a bad football game?
It would be. I don't want to see that shit.
You're a Raider fan.
See that shit.
Your favorite quarterback of all time would be playing on primetime Thanksgiving, and you don't want to see that?
No.
Damn.
I don't, because my favorite quarterback of all time plays for my most hated fucking team. All right, so yeah.
Remember when Anthony was
Mahomes?
remember when Anthony was trying to start the Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders thing a few months ago?
That lasted about a week.
No, it lasted 30 minutes before I said all your sources are wrong and fraudulent.
And Tom Brady to the Raiders. I remember that too.
No, that was almost a thing. That was almost a thing many times, actually.
It was never a thing.
No, because even when Brady said that cryptic
If
message,
my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike.
No, because when Brady sent that cryptic message about some team not wanting him and everybody was
it was
wanting
y'all.
that team. Yeah, it was us. You know, like we came close to pulling the trigger on it. But listen, even looking at your schedule, Dylan, I don't even see 5 primetime worthy games. Like even if I had to choose,
Jets Giants 1.
Don't care for that.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to see
Jets
no
Giants
Jets.
isn't a primetime worthy game. What are you talking about?
No.
Giants made the playoffs last year. They have this story behind them. They
Dylan,
have a great
you
coach,
hated on
and then the
the
Jets just
Giants
had
all
Aaron
last
Rodgers. I don't think they beat a lot of people worth a damn, but they made the playoffs, and the Giants did get better. They did get better, and I will acknowledge that they got fucking better.
But how much better?
I think they
how
got
much better?
better. I think they took 2 steps forward.
Team.
No, but I'm talking about because you have to factor in that cupcake schedule too. Like, so how much better did they really get?
We'll see when it comes to their season. But you got your playoff team last year. You improved your wide receiver room. You improved your defense. I'd expect them to be better. You get Daniel Jones in another year of this offense. Like, I expect them to be better. Yeah, and it's the Jets just got Aaron Rodgers after having a top 5 defense and a above average season compared to what the expectations were for 6 games. So yeah. That's a primetime game. Jets Cowboys could be a primetime game. Jets Bills could be a primetime game. Jets Dolphins could be a primetime game.
I don't want to see no Jets Bills. I wouldn't mind seeing Jets Chargers as a primetime game. That would be a good game.
That wouldn't happen.
But that would be a good game right there. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
You don't want to see but we're gonna do Jets Chargers versus a fucking divisional game that has actual implications.
I don't want to see Jets.
That's what makes those games important. Jets Bills, Jets Dolphins would be 2 games that would be prime time. Jets Patriots would probably be a Thursday nighter.
Yeah, that most likely be a Thursday nighter.
That has a Thursday night kind of feel to it.
That's Thursday night written all over it, especially if the Patriots are as bad as I think they're going to be.
You want the Patriots to be so? You just want them to.
Patriots don't win 8 games next year. They don't.
You said what?
They don't win 8 games next year.
They don't win 8 games this year.
Nope. I think they get swept by the entire division.
Oh, okay. You talking Will Span? You tempted me with that one.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins
Sign
got
me up for that
significantly
one.
better on defense.
I got to get 1 win in 6 games. I might.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
I think you need to give me. I need to see the schedule before I make that bet.
What are you talking about? You don't need to see the schedule for that.
Yeah, you do. It all depends on when you face somebody. Because if it's a week 17 and they're playing the Bills, who have locked in the thingy,
The 1 seed.
Why do I need to? Like, we sit everyone.
But Dylan, you
exactly.
can see
I'm not going to bet that.
But you can see the Dolphins. Can you not realistically see the Dolphins locking up a seed, locking up playoff hopes and whatnot by that time?
I just said the Bills as just a team. If it's the Jets, Dolphins, Bills, they all have locked in their playoff seed, and it's week 18, and they have Miami again, like the Jets did this year, and they just trot out a 3rd-string quarterback.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know until like
Well, it
towards
depends.
yeah.
If they play the Bills, right?
So are you
Say the
trying to
Bills,
make
let's
trying
say-
to make this bet week 13 or some shit? Like
No, I will see the schedule and then I will make a bet or not make a bet. If they face a divisional team in the last game of the season, I'm not making that bet. I'm telling you right
but
now.
they are.
They are. That's how the schedule.
Yeah, that's how the
works.
schedule works.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because I know circumstances.
That's what said. You want to put a wheel bet on that? I'll take that right now.
Yeah, I'll
If
take that
they're-
bet.
If they're playing like the Texans week 18, abso-fucking-lutely give me that. But if there's playoff implications are already set, no need to do anything. I'm not touching that fucking bet with that.
I think if the Pats face the Jets week 18, I think you could probably safely make that bet because the Jets will probably still be at least fighting for a seed. I don't think they'll be locking up.
If it's in a lockup position where it's like, yo, the Jets won the division, I'm like, fuck. That's why I don't want to bet this wheel spin. Because I just know. Because I think there's going to be 3 teams that have 10 wins in this division.
Because even me with my crazy ass prediction last year that almost went true. If y'all not fucking botched that damn Miami game, I mean, it's hard to be 6-0. Like,
don't blame me. Blame fucking Joe Flacco.
The internet.
Blame Joe Flacco, not me. Blame the wrong guy. You're over here like, oh, the Jets. I'm like, Joe Flacco is starting. Like, why? What is this expectation here? These are this game's fucking terrible. I'm like, you have 2 third-string quarterbacks, 2 fourth-string offensive lines playing right now. Like, what is happening? What were your expectations? Was like a shootout?
No, my expectations was more than 6 points. I was like, damn, and at least y'all score like
it literally
12
was
points.
the Jets defense was playing good and Joe Flacco was not, and then it was like the Dolphins defense was playing good, but fucking their starting quarterback was not. And then that starting quarterback proceeded to go into Buffalo and almost win them that playoff game. Like, that's crazy.
Buffalo did not have a good postseason.
They scored 9 points
Yeah,
against the Jets, and then they went up and scored like 20 something against the Bills
in Buffalo too. That's
in Buffalo. No sense. No sense.
Well, let's pay some bills. I'll try to pay some bills. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Bing, bing, bing. Make sure you catch us on all the social media platforms. We are on everything: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Twitch. We are on everything. You get the podcast, we are on there. And yeah, this has been a great show, but it's not quite over. We've just got one more thing. Now, I don't know if you guys, our YouTube viewers, can see that James has left for the evening. But James has forgotten to turn off his audio. So he can still hear everything that I'm saying right now. And I'm hoping that this next sound that I play jolts him back to the podcast. Because if you remember all last year, ladies and gentlemen, when my New Jersey Devils, admittedly so, rebuilding, not very good, but the Rangers, the rest of them, love, and every time the Rangers did something, this is all I had to hear.
Let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. Let's go.
That's enough. That's enough.
Misty, we didn't get the hey part.
Yeah, it's enough. It's good. It's good. We got the gist of it. So this year, all throughout the season, my Devils have had a great year. Went on a 13-game win streak. I was consistently in the chat telling these guys all season, Devils are doing good. Devils are doing good. Anthony, what happened every time I mentioned the Devils in the chat?
You would get bombarded.
Actually, I would get ignored. It never happened.
Before you continue, I said I'm refraining from all shit talk until Patrick Kane is a New York Ranger. I said that.
Ignored. And then, as Dylan just said, the Rangers decided to throw all the chips on the table and go get Patrick Kane and say, we're going for it. Magically, all of a sudden, Roz and James are Barry Melrose, and they just have all the Ranger energy you could want. Even going so far as to saying, Mike, you don't want to see the Rangers. You don't want to see the Rangers. Not you,
Mike,
Dylan.
you're acting like you packed them up. You went 7. It went 7.
So the Rangers and Devils met in the first round. And the Devils had home ice. And the Devils lost game 1. And I promptly came in, and me and Dylan were talking, and I was like, all right, they're young, big moment. They wasn't ready for how physical the Rangers playoff ball. Game 2 was not much different, as the Rangers promptly punched the Devils in the face. And the Devils looked like a deer in the headlights. As I told Dylan, a deer in the headlights, didn't know what to do. And I was like, well, just got to get one. Just got to get one. Game 3, Devils won in overtime, but for lack of a better term, stole the game. After game 1 and game 2, Roz and James are on cloud 9. Going back to the Garden. Garden's going to be crazy. Knicks, Rangers gets no better. 94 all over again. Then game 4 happened. And the Devils beat the brakes off the Rangers at game 4. It's all right. Dylan took it on the chin. All right, it sucks. We, keep going. Game 5, the Devils packed the Rangers the fuck up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They got packed up. I was on cloud 9. Dylan was upset. But remarkably, crickets from Roz and James. Just nothing. I'm not going to lie. I had my chest poked out. I thought we were going to win game 6.
And then you got fucking packed up.
I was talking shit in the chat because the Devils took the lead. I was in here feeling good.
He made a mistake. Because I said, don't worry, Mike. He's like, oh, I'm watching the game. I was like, I'm going to watch the game when I get home. I was on my way from a birthday party. And I was like, I'm going to watch the game when I get home. And Mike was like, oh, dude, just so you know, the Devils scored. Devils did this. Blah, blah, blah. And then it got quiet. And then I started watching, like, oh, hey, Mike, I see you haven't given me any updates on the game. And it turns out that team in blue scored twice.
Before you got home, I was like, oh yeah, Dylan, the blue team scored. Whatever. It's tied. and then they scored again. And then they scored again. Then they scored again. Then they scored again. And I just had to sit here. As the guys in the chat know, I am superstitious, and I very, very rarely talk during my team.
That's why it was so funny for you to be talking.
I was feeling myself. I was feeling Dylan. I just knew that was the night. So they got packed up. Nothing, can't say that they got packed up. And wouldn't you know, Roz and James come out of nowhere talking junk. Game 7, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Game 7, crickets. You know who's watching Game 7? Me and Dylan. That's who's watching Game 7. Play by play. Took the lead. I didn't go cry. I just held it in. The only thing I said was it's going to be a stressful third period because the Rangers weren't playing bad. The Devils.
No, they were playing terrible.
They were playing.
They were playing sloppy.
But they were playing sloppy. The game wasn't over though. At no point
Going into the third period, the game was not over.
Yeah, I didn't think that game was over going to the third. And then something amazing happened. The Devils scored, and I could see the soul come out of the Rangers' body. And I don't know if Dylan will admit this, but the Rangers quit. They quit.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They quit. They quit. And the Devils scored again. And I just wanted to go on a victory lap. James, out of nowhere, just goes, "We played bad tonight," and thought that was gonna be it. Good game, Mike. Okay,
looking for some sportsmanship.
Nah, none of it. You wanted the smoke. You got the smoke. Devils win. The Rangers are about to fire their coach. They're about to blow the whole team up. And you know what? You know who did it to us? Look at me. I did this to you. I did this to you. And now I have found, for your listening pleasure, the Devil's Goal song, which we will now play in celebration. I don't have any hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Ricky Bobby. I'll let you have this, Mike. I'll burst your bubble a little bit when the music stops. Not gonna lie, that kind of sucks. That song kind of sucks.
I actually kind of like it.
Yeah,
the Rangers one's better.
No, I like this one more. Honestly,
yeah. Well, you didn't get to hear the rest of the Ranger one. Mike cut you off. Mike cut the song off, so you didn't get to the hey. With all that being said, the fucking Devils lost 5-1 tonight.
They got packed up tonight.
Packed the fuck up tonight.
They got packed up. I watched it. And it was just.
Don't worry. Now the hockey ratings are going to go down because the Rangers are out.
The hockey ratings are going to go down because there's nobody left. Well, no, as long as Toronto's playing, the ratings will be up a little bit. But
yeah, the Bruins wasting one of the most incredible seasons ever.
The funny thing of all of it was, I was almost as happy about the Bruins losing. Me and Dylan had a celebration the next night when the Bruins lost. Because what that would be equivalent. The Bruins losing would be equivalent to the 72-10 Bulls losing to the Bullets in the first round in Game 7 in overtime on a jump shot by insert random player here.
Yeah, they literally, like, you want to talk about Giannis, talk about failure, not like there's no failure, blah 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 blah. The Bruins failed. The Bruins wasted arguably the greatest hockey season of all time.
And nothing was better than just hearing that arena go deathly quiet.
Boston Bruins fans were in hell. They were just like, we don't know what to do. I can't believe this. This is so crazy, blah, blah, blah. It's the worst night in Boston sports. Hands down, one of the worst nights in Boston sports, besides like losing the 2 Super Bowls to the Giants.
Yeah. And just to have the Celtics promptly get packed up the next night. Just
oh yeah, this is the second worst Boston game in the last 24 hours.
Boston misery will always make me happy. Will always,
as will I.
So just for the Bruins losing and my Devils, we will give one.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that.
I was defending the honor of Ranger fandom in the chat.
Yeah, because your other two abandoned you because they're fickle.
It's all right. Don't worry. As long as I got Anthony to admit that he was a fake hockey fan.
That was funny. I'm actually happy, Anthony, because I don't know if you guys remember when Anthony declared himself a hockey free agent, we both made pitches for him to join our teams. I told him come join my Devils. Dylan, I don't think you wanted him as a Ranger fan.
I definitely don't want Anthony to root for anything that I root for.
But I think Raj was like, come on over. We tried to get you to be an Islanders fan who also got packed up. But he decided to go with the Kings. And what happened to the Kings, Dylan?
Pack the fuck up. Now, this is after Anthony went on this fucking spree of him trying to convince me that he watches Kings hockey games.
King shit. Hashtag King shit. Packed up. Yeah. So yes, the Devils now listen, it's one game, but you will hear that sound again if the Devils can make the cup. Which we have, for all intents and purposes, this is the Eastern Conference Finals. If the Devils win this series, they're going.
Mike also said that he doesn't care about anything else anymore because we beat the Rangers. I don't even care if we win. We beat the Rangers. This was
it's a consolation prize.
This was my Stanley Cup, he says, and I would like to point out that that's loser shit. That is just plain old loser hater shit to say.
Absolutely not.
Because guess what? I said that when we beat the Patriots in the playoffs, and guess what? I promptly lost the next game.
And we promptly lost tonight. But no, I absolutely want the cup because nothing would make me happier than to see my man, the young Jack Sparrow, lift up that cup.
Yeah, fuck him. I think this is the year going into this hockey season. This is where I get a sweater.
I
spend the money getting a sweater.
Very, very close. I was very close after the Devils won Game 7 to buying some Devils gear.
I'm getting a blue shirt.
I may still do that because I actually really do like the Devils hockey jersey. Both the red and the black one that says jersey. I like both of those.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I'll just show up at my house because my stepdad knows I watch hockey, but doesn't know that I pledge my allegiance to the Rangers, and he's like a massive Rangers fan.
A bonding moment.
So me to show up and he'd be like, "What the fuck? I thought you rooted for the Islanders." I was like, "Yeah, I decided that when I pledged my allegiance, I wasn't going to do that." So I just show up in Rangers shirt. He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go Rangers, kid." Do we have I'm him?
We do have I'm him this week. You can actually go first while I get the banner ready.
My I'm him of the week is Riley Moss. Right. You guys may not know who Riley Moss is, but I'm going to provide you with a fact, and you guys are going to understand what I'm about to talk about. Since 2002, there has only been one Caucasian man to play the position of cornerback, and his name is Jason Sehorn. All of that changed during the NFL draft when the Denver Broncos drafted Riley Moss, the first white corner to get drafted in the NFL since Jason Sehorn. So you want to talk about facing adversity at a position? There it is. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetime, folks. We've never seen a position 100% filled by a group of people. Now. So shout out to you, man. They're probably going to change you to safety, and you're probably never going to play a snap at corner. But just know you got drafted at corner where you're getting claimed as a corner.
You know what? I might as well just piggyback off Dylan with my I'm him. My I'm him goes to none other than Mr. Jack Harlow. My I'm him goes to him because he came out with an album. His last album that he came out with, he got promptly eviscerated by fans. He got eviscerated by the media, by haters. They all said he sucked. His lines were corny. They all said Jack Harlow fell off. His music's trash. We don't want to listen to this shit no more. All right, cool. Then he dropped a 10-track, 24-minute album with no features, and that shit went hard as fuck. Don't. It's 24 minutes. But don't take my word for it. I don't want to sound like the delusional Jack Harlow. So I went online. I checked the reviews. I checked the fan reaction. They all loved it. Every single one of them said, this dude is back. The shit bumped. The beats were soulful. The lyrics banged. Jack Harlow absolutely deserves I'm him.
And then Jack Harlow went to that Knick game on Sunday, and Kyle Lowry fell on his lap, and he said that shit's soft.
Like a pillow.
Well, you know why he said that shit. That's all promotion shit, man. They do shit like that.
What's promotion about Sega? Another
It's to get
ass.
Why else would he say that when he has an album out?
He says it all the time.
No, he doesn't. When's the last time he said some shit like that?
Never seen him and Drewski interact.
No, I haven't.
This is your king.
That's your king. Hey, Mike.
I like the music. I don't care for his person.
Huh?
What white guy are you picking for I'm him?
Yeah, you gotta pick a white guy.
You gotta pick a white guy.
Yeah, you gotta pick a white guy.
No, he's gonna pick a devil. Nah.
Well, since you mentioned it, Dylan,
Dylan, thanks a lot.
I think I'm gonna go with my man Smitty, Big Game Smitty, the goal. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. If you're wondering why I'm saying Smitty, I don't know how to pronounce his first name. I don't care. Judge me if you want. Big Game Smitty, the goalie, the rookie goalie that got brought in Game 3 because we were getting packed up, and promptly went to hit a shutout in Game 7 at home. By the way, Devils haven't won a playoff series in 10 years like the Knicks. So this has been a very euphoric few days for me, having both my franchises do this. But first time since my man, the greatest goaltender of all time, Marty Brodeur, the greatest goaltender ever, have we had a shutout at home in Game 7. So I'm him is my man, Big Game Smitty, packing the Rangers up.
If I didn't say anything about Devils, what white guy were you picking?
I would have had to think about it. It probably. Oh, it would have been Austin Reeves.
Not Will Levis.
No. He's got work to do before he gets that. He's got work to do.
I just want to say I'm so happy Will Levis went to one of your guys' teams.
I know you are.
Because I wanted it to be Anthony. Because I know Will Levis would have been thrust into a position way too soon. But like once I thought about it, I went to work and I talked to my boss. And I was like, my buddy is a Titans fan. I think the Titans are really going to take Will Levis.
What do you think about it? It's kind of ironic that it would fall on one of our teams. He would fall.
Yeah, I was like, I think he's gonna get Will Levis. He's like, I like Will Levis. I was like, did you actually watch Will Levis play football, or are you just saying that because he's like the one white quarterback in this draft? And he's like, I played the fifth.
Yeah, exactly.
But nope. I would have. I can't wait for Will Levis to play football for you guys. Because I turned Mike. I got my grubby little fingers on him, and I got him to see the light. I got him to see the light of Will Levis.
I know one
Hendon
thing,
Hooker was on the board.
That's what bothers me is that Hendon Hooker was on the board. But if he does turn out to be what Mel Kiper thinks he is, I'm never going to let you hit the end of it, Dylan.
Mel Kiper's never right about quarterbacks. So.
I'm never going to let you hit the end of it if he turns out to be what he thinks he is.
Shout out to Detroit for actually like getting Hendon Hooker, and Hendon Hooker is going to be in a great situation in Detroit.
He is. That has Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick written all over it. All over it.
Because Jared Goff's got what, a year, 2 left on his contract?
I think 2.
If I'm Detroit, just let it rock for 2 years. Let Hooker get the development he needs.
And he'd be like 28 when he gets his first start. Like
He'd be 26.
26?
Yeah.
How old is he right now?
24.
It's definitely like 25.
He's 24.
Hendon Hooker. What's his name?
Greg
No, he's 25. No, he's 25.
It's not like this is a Brandon Whedon situation where Brandon Whedon got drafted like 32.
He was okay for like 2 weeks.
For a game.
He was okay for a couple of weeks.
Because he was the backup to Colt McCoy, wasn't he?
Yes.
I love Colt McCoy.
How about
Why?
the TCU quarterback getting drafted by a team he's never going to start for? Damn, I just had it. Duggar's going to. Damn, I gotta look it up now.
I love Colt McCoy because
I like him.
he's the most fucking like Texas quarterback ever. Colt McCoy, University of Texas, hook him. It's the perfect, like, you couldn't think of a better name for the quarterback of the Texas Longhorns.
Chargers. The Chargers.
Never will
He's
see the light of day there.
He's never. That's what he's never. He's never going to see the light of day.
What's his face? Stetson Bennett going to the Rams in the 4th round.
That's interesting.
He sucks. Remember when Ross was like, "Yo, if he's available, you gotta take him. You gotta take him."
You think he sucks?
Stetson Bennett's bad.
You think he sucks? That man is one of the most accomplished college football players ever. So,
and he is not a good NFL quarterback. That's the thing. You could be a great college football player and be a horrible NFL football player.
We're gonna see. I'm not saying he's gonna be like an all-pro, but I don't think he's as bad as.
He's also another one who's like 30.
He is old. He is old.
It's just that Georgia team. Everybody on that Georgia team is going to get drafted in the 1st round.
Everybody on that Georgia team is an Eagle.
Correct.
Yeah, that too.
Correct. So why is he the one that goes later?
Eagles
because he's not that good.
Because the Eagles have Jalen Hurts. That's why.
You need a backup. Go get another UGA player.
Who is Jalen Hurts? Oh, it's
Minshew's not there anymore. Minshew's a free agent.
Isn't Marcus Mariota? That's the backup?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's Marcus Mariota.
Correct.
Yeah.
Look at Anthony as we hit the 3-hour mark, still pulling out gems.
When did he? Yeah,
It's Marcus
That's
Mariota.
a good backup to have.
It's not a bad backup at all.
Which is crazy because he got mad that he got benched last year.
Yeah, and
I don't know why.
And
then he went on the market.
Backup.
Then he went on the market and found out, oh, everybody else thinks I stink too.
To be fair, he did so much better than everybody thought he was going to be.
Yes, he's better than what people think, but no.
He's a good solid backup. If your quarterback is out for a few games,
He'll win you some games.
Yeah, he can go 2-2 for you. You know,
with that Eagles team, he probably could go 4-0.
Not gonna argue with you, Anthony. Take us home. Not gonna.
Are they not great?
They are.
That's what I'm saying. You have a chance.
Great week. Another great show. 3 hours of just great sports talk. Just glad to do this every week, man. We're gonna be back and better than ever next week. Be on the lookout. We got many, many things on the way. I'm out.
_ podcast Poppy _ on all social media platforms. Thank you all for tuning in, watching. Appreciate it. Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. I still don't know how to feel about it. But every day it gets closer and closer, and I have to still stand 10 toes down because I've said things and I'm a man of my word.
Oh, you're done. Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
Quick and easy.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Like I said, follow us on all the socials. You can follow me on the socials at IAM_MBJ. What is it? It's Thursday now. I'll be right back on Friday on OTTR, Last Week in Wrestling. I have a busy Saturday. We'll have post-game live Saturday. There's a watch party for WWE Backlash. Canelo Alvarez is fighting. There's a UFC fight. There's a lot going on Saturday. So, yeah, I will be working and not sleeping at all this weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy comes out this weekend. It is a lot going on. Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo.
You know, I got asked if I celebrate Cinco de Mayo. You know what I told him? That's fucking racist.
That's racist.
That's fucking racist.
They try to, you know, there's a big ass bar crawl this week. They try to get me to work that shit. I told me the fuck up out of here, man. I ain't working that shit.
I can't wait for Backlash.
I can't wait for Backlash either. It should be very interesting.
In my island of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
I can't wait for Bad Bunny. I can't wait for Benito to go in there and win.
It's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be such a good.
I feel like him and Priest, and since they're friends, like he's gonna let Priest like do some stuff to him that'll be physical.
He got you there, man.
He'll trust Bad Bunny, and Damian Priest has basically trained him, so he knows what he can do. He knows what he'll let him do something. They're going to do something we haven't seen him do, which is
he's not going to get a destroyer off on Damian Priest though.
If he's
too big, he's too big.
But man, that would be unbelievable if he did. Unbelievable, and you got to figure he's been talking to Ray like this. It's
everybody involved with that. He's been talking to. I thought that Bad Bunny's promo he did 2 weeks ago, where he was on the
good,
fantastic,
pretty good. He always sounds so funny to me when he talks English. Like when I see him, like when I hear his songs and stuff, like when he talks English, his voice is very deep, and it just throws me off every time.
Yeah. Well, his voice is kind of deep anyway.
A little bit, but I don't know. It just hits different for me. I'm not just hosting Backlash. I'm coming to kick your ass. Can't wait.
I'm a big Bad Bunny fan. I was a big Bad Bunny fan before he started wrestling, because Janice listens to Bad Bunny all the time. And regardless if I know what the fuck he's saying or not, guy makes good music. Guy makes great music.
I knew of him before wrestling. Now, obviously, he's the biggest star in the world, so of course I know who he is now and his music.
His Trap Bunny phase is really good fucking music. Really good music.
I also don't know what he's saying in his songs.
No clue, but it bangs.
But it sounds good.
It slaps.
Sounds
and I don't listen to the Spanish music at all, because it all sounds the same. He doesn't.
It really does all sound the same.
He is so unique for that scene, and the Latin American music group thing hasn't had anybody pop off like this since Daddy Yankee, and he had 2 hits and was gone and just went back to just being in the islands, where Bad Bunny now is global.
He's a
global superstar.
To me, he is the hottest. He's the biggest name in music right now.
And the cool thing is you'll see just girls Anthony prowling on the bunnies at his concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily because he's dating Kendall Jenner right now, so that's crazy.
It's also weird, but
after he spends most of his time being like, no, the island, we love the island, we want to do all this, get yourself a woman from the island. Kendall Jenner.
Mm-hmm.
He's Anthony.
He is Anthony. He
don't know what they're talking about.
Get yourself a woman on the branch of the tree. Snow Bunny. Bunny hopping. A video of Dr. Umar responding to that girl. He said, "I love you too, baby." Is that a bunny?
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Bunny? A bunny?
Oh, we didn't. One more thing we didn't mention, just because I want to get Dylan. Lamar Jackson signed his contract. Good for him. Good money. And then Anthony promptly continues to call him a greedy pig.
Oh, one, remember when you were praising Jalen Hurts for being the richest player ever? Second richest. Told you it last couple weeks.
Doesn't matter. You can still say he was the highest paid player in NFL history. That is still a fact.
For a week.
That's still a fact.
He's not higher paid than Lamar.
He was the highest paid player in NFL history.
Was.
That's still
Speaking of, did they lay out the details of Lamar's contract yet?
I didn't pay attention too much. I saw the initial guarantees. I didn't see any of the incentives.
They didn't do a breakdown of his guarantees.
They absolutely could have. And I know Anthony says I live in the chat, and I break everything in the chat for the most part. I did not see that or break that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else on that. I think we're coming. I think it's coming. I think the next big quarterback signing is coming. I think it's going to be Herbert. I think it's going to be Herbert, and then it's going to be
Burrow, whatever Herbert. Burrow's going to get the biggest one next year. Herbert will probably be first. Burrow's going to be more.
Yeah.
Lamar's getting 260. Don't be shocked if Burrow gets 300.
300? What do you think Herbert's going to get?
280.
Yeah.
And we just keep on going.
That's how it's going to go. That's how the market goes.
Be interesting to see how
I think
they
Herbert.
work.
I think Herbert or Burrow, one of them will sign a Patrick Mahomes 10-year deal. One of them will, and at that point, it's gonna be 10 years. What, over 500? Because that's similar to what Mahomes' was. I think if anybody gets that, it'll be Burrow. Burrow will lock in a 10-year 500+ mil contract. And then just do what Pat Mahomes does and convert his salary to signing bonus every year to sign his players.
Yeah. The mythical cap. Jesus Christ.
The cap doesn't exist unless you want it to exist. Jeff found out how to the magic wand that fucking converts salary cap. It's crazy. The whole time I'm like, yeah, I have no reason to believe the Jets will do it because they had their opportunity to do it with CJ Mosley. Convert CJ Mosley's 15 mil to signing bonus. You get that money off the board because he's done next year. And now it's oh, Aaron Rodgers' roster. Oh shit, he has $45.5 million signing bonus because his contract got converted. Okay, cool. $1 million cap hit. The fuck? And they're going to do that every year he decides to play. He said he's going for multiple years. I don't believe him. But if they do it next year, Roz is insisting. He's he's got $100 million on the table. Yeah, that $100 million will be $1 million next year. That's all he's going to do. Woody's just going to pay him out of pocket. I'm convinced Robert Kraft did with Tom Brady for a decade.
You think so?
It's either he paid him out of pocket or he gave him a lifetime supplies of Kraft mac and cheese.
Or both.
Well, Brady is always a generous dude. Always took discounts.
Except for when he was I want to get paid, and they were like, no. I won you all these Super Bowls. It's time to pay me. They're like, we could win a Super Bowl without you. And he's like, bet. Let me go win a Super Bowl.
Boy, were they wrong.
Anthony still thinks Tom Brady's walking through that door to save them.
Nope. Maybe when he walks through that door at Fox to kick Greg Olsen out the booth, then maybe you'll believe it that it's over.
I hope not. I like Greg Olsen as a commentator. He's good. Tom, as much as I hate Tom, I know Tom would excel in that job.
We'll see.
And the worst thing that can happen is if Tom tries to make me like him.
And succeeds.
I will fight it.
And succeeds.
I will fight it. Because when he was on the cover of Madden, they're doing all those speed drills, and he's trying to increase his speed in the game by running the 40 with Chad. How are you not supposed to like that? But fuck him. 10 goes down.
All right, join us Saturday. I don't know who's going to be on Post Game Live, but yeah, join us Saturday. I was going to play Anthony's theme song, but I don't care anymore. I don't care. So yep, I would say I see Dylan just itching. But we will, where's the button? We will see you guys when we see you.